All right, y'all. What's up? What's up, Brenda? Hello. Is it Soros? Oh my gosh. How about you and y'all's? We are back for some more debates. I'm probably going to be on for another 2 or 3 hours. And what did we have for dinner? We went to a Thai place. I got I got a boon bowl. If you guys know what a boon bowl is, I think that's technically Vietnamese. I got a boon bowl and um she got pad see ew. What's up, Snowman? Welcome back. Watching from Australia. What's up, Julie? Thank you guys so much for hanging out on YouTube. That is so cool that we have YouTube viewers now. That's pretty recent for me, if y'all didn't know. YouTube, we just started not that long ago. Maybe a couple months ago. We're getting decent views over there, though. How's y'all's doing, guys? For some reason, TikTok's not distributing as much as they usually do, so I might ask you guys for extra love and attention and taps and interaction. If you guys don't mind. If you're usually lurking, say hi. I'm always tapped. I appreciate you, Jason. I know. You guys are awesome. You and Jin. But yeah, I got a boon bowl, which is pretty much vermicelli noodles, bean sprouts, uh, like a fried spring roll, and beef, and like carrots, and I think lettuce. But yeah, let me see if I can say stuff for the algorithm. Trump, 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 Kamala, Kamala, democracy, debates, love, friendship. With love and friendship. Yellow.
Yeah, how's it going?
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I voted for him.
Okay. What do you like about Trump?
Um, I thought that he was pretty solid on his. Well, I mean, what do I like about him, or why did I vote for him?
Either one.
What I think he's funny. That's one thing that I think is good about him.
All right. Well, why'd you vote for him?
I voted for him. I thought that he had stronger policy domestically, and I thought that his track record of foreign policy from his first term, in terms of staying out of wars, negotiating peace deals, and not getting us any closer to wars, I thought was good. So that's why I voted for him.
Okay. I'll debate you on like domestic policy if you want. What I would say is if you look at Trump's website right now, even, you can see what he wrote down. His Agenda 47 is there, and I can pull it up if you want. But it's basically, in my opinion, it's real bad. It's 16 pages long, and for instance, when it talks about the economy, it just has one sentence right there at the beginning. It just says end inflation. It's completely incoherent. We don't ever want to just end inflation. And he just says things like he's going to make United States energy independent again, which is dumb because we were more energy independent under Biden than he was. He doesn't really go in to say how he's going to help the economy. In fact, this whole tariff thing was a huge surprise. He mentions tariffs once in his domestic policy, and it doesn't say who or how much or what. If and most of us thought that he was just kind of do the same thing they did last time, some targeted tariffs to protect like certain industries, but it looks like to me he's using tariffs in a way for economic war.
You think the tariffs are for economic war?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you don't think that the tariffs are being used as a tool to renegotiate? You think that they're basically just being used for malice?
Um, Renegotiate would be one thing. Like, you'd be kind of fucking really stupid to go to the table and negotiate anything with Trump in regards to a trade deal, especially
It's just a
since
yes or no. Because, I mean, the news reports that are coming out are that countries are renegotiating. So if you're saying that all these countries who are renegotiating are fucking idiots,
Yeah,
These are the leaders of the countries of the world. So I don't know how much weight your opinion on that's going.
We don't really have any finished negotiations, do we?
No, but I mean, but all of these countries are all reporting on their side and on our side that they are in talks. So they are negotiating.
So Trump is holding them hostage to come to the table and say, "Hey, what do you want to take these tariffs down?" Yes, that is happening, and this is what I'm saying. Trump did the USMCA, right? He did the U.S. Canada Mexico deal, and this was supposed to be renegotiated 16 years after he did it. And what he did was he went directly against those terms and broke that trade deal. So you would be, in fact, stupid to just trust that Trump is going to honor a trade deal.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, I have a feeling, I have a strong suspicion that in the next couple of months, they're probably going to announce trade deals. Other countries are going to announce that they've gotten a trade deal with the United States. And I mean, I don't know. We've got reports that, well, I won't even bring it up, but I have a feeling that they're going to renegotiate. I have a feeling deals are going to come, and I have a feeling that over the next 4 years, they're going to enforce those deals. So you're kind of making just a broad strokes argument about because Trump wanted to renegotiate this, and because he's basically reneging on a deal that he penned in 2016 or whatever year it was. Basically, why would any other country want to renegotiate with him now? Why would they trust that he's going to honor his deal? Well. I don't know. I mean, should they trust him and should they renegotiate? I'm not sure that they have a choice.
Yeah, they don't have a choice.
I think that's kind of the whole point.
Yeah, he's holding them hostage. He's pretty much holding us hostage. But yeah, we are the consumers that fuel some of their economies, and if their economies lose our revenue, their GDP decreases, the countries will go into a recession. So yes, this is economic war.
Yeah. So
it's not just him going, "Hey, would you like to renegotiate a deal?" It's pretty much like, "Hey, if you want me to take this gun away from your head, you got to give me something."
It's kind of a bully move. I agree. So I'm not at all in disagreement about that. I think that maybe there's people out there. It sounds like your temperament toward how a leader should be is maybe not as dominant and maybe not as rugged as Trump is. I personally don't mind that. I think that there's a lot of history or a lot of great leaders in history who were pretty brash. They were pretty bold. They were pretty rugged guys. And Trump kind of has that little bit of aura. But I wanted to ask you this, and this goes back to the trade. And this is really important because this is kind of the crux of probably my entire belief system around this. So in the last 20 years, we live in a country, America, where we have seen wage increases that are not anywhere near what the increase in price is and what the increase in cost is for all of the things that you have to live. Housing is up like 100% in the last 25 years. Mm-hmm. Gasoline is up. Groceries are up. Insurance is through the roof. So what I'm saying is that the people in the lower and the middle income, they are poorer today. It costs proportionately more money to live your life.
Yeah, you're talking about the wealth gap.
So here's my point. The deficit for our country is going up. And it seems as if both political parties in our country are in agreement that we do need to change things economically. Like we cannot continue what we're doing forever. So I just don't understand why anyone would be not anything other than excited for a president who's like, hey, you know what? We're not going to pass the buck down the road. We're going to renegotiate trade with people. Evidently, obviously, our trade deals are not good enough. I mean, our inner cities are not what they used to be. We could be so much better as a country. We could have a lot better education. We could do this, we could do that. But it just, I think that renegotiating the trade and getting the economy in a better spot is probably step number one to do it.
Listen, look, here's the first thing I'll say. This is Republicans versus Democrats on the deficit. Republicans come in and they fuck up the deficit. Democrats
what happened in 2019?
COVID, but this is before that, right?
Okay, so look at the years prior to COVID. Look at Trump spending.
Okay, yeah, it was $4.4 trillion.
So he's on pace with people that are back in 2005. Obama's spending is twice every single other person's spending.
All right,
in the first 3 years.
Calm down. Look, this is what. Let me finish the
I'm
thing.
Just pointing out what's on the graph because you're trying to use it in a way that's kind of disingenuous.
Bush Senior came in, fucked up the deficit. Clinton came in, balanced it. Bush Jr. came in, fucked it up. Obama did have to pay for the things negotiated by Bush to bail out the banks and all that stuff because of the crash. So yes, for the same reason Trump had to spend some, it's about half of what Trump had to spend was because of COVID. The other half still outweighs Biden's spending by a factor of 2. So he spent twice as much as Biden non-COVID, and it is a Republican thing to
I mean,
fuck
no,
up
it's
the
just
deficit.
it's. I'm going to tell you right now, the fact that you're essentially making 2019 out to not be something as big as it even is on the graph, and then you're basically just vaguely, I mean, literally in 3 seconds, dismissing all of the spending under Obama.
Can you tell me
as
Republican
paying for Republicans is,
Yeah.
frankly, it's not a very good argument.
He reduced the deficit. It is a good argument. He spent more
I mean,
and
yeah, but you're
reduced it.
talking about increasing it majorly for what is that, 4 years? And then toward the end, he gets better.
Yeah. His stuff actually decreased the deficit. Yes.
Okay.
Can you show me a Republican president that decreased the deficit?
It looks like Bush did. Looks like he was on his way to doing that. Look at the chart for Bush. Most of the years have a line that trends down. I don't know why you have a line that trends up.
And then Bush did
directly perpendicular to it,
Bush
that's
did
your prerogative.
tax cuts. Yeah. So Republicans champion tax cuts, which make us poor, and Democrats actually re-increase taxes.
You're still missing the point, because I said the deficit has gone up. I didn't say which party is responsible for that. I just said that the deficit has gone up.
Okay.
The economy is unarguably worse for people in the lower and the middle income class as it is 20 years ago. So why is it bad that we're renegotiating trade? Why should I be opposed to a president who wants to get the job done now?
Because we are alone on the world stage now, the way he's handled it. So being brash, etc., is one way to put it.
You're saying that is such an assumption. I mean, you're just assuming that it's not going to work at all in any capacity.
No, I think the way he's done it has had more collateral damage than in any hopes of us seeing like a good outcome.
Okay, and you're a TikTok live analyst. He's the president of the free world. So it's like you're saying,
I think
like,
he's remarkably.
I
think he's remarkably stupid. Yes.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's like, okay, so you're the president. What do you do then? Why don't you call the shots? Tell me what you would do to make everything better.
I obviously wouldn't give like the top 1% enormous tax breaks and then increase taxes on the middle and lower class. I think that's fucking stupid.
So let me ask you this. If the billionaires in the country are actually taking all their money offshore because the taxes are so high here today, there is actually a math equation that exists out there for people who lead countries where once you tax past a certain point, you actually lose taxable income.
You can just close that loophole.
He just closed that. Great.
Yeah. There you go.
Explain the loophole.
Okay, if a company starts here and they get so big and they decide to move their mailbox to the Cayman Islands, then you're going to see a huge tax, and you're also going to be prohibited from doing business here in the United States for X amount of years or something. Like it's
so easy. Trump just did that.
Oh, what did he do?
You just said that he closed that loophole.
No, Trump did not do that. No.
Why did you just say he closed a loophole and then explain something else? Well, I'm asking you.
You asked me, what would I do? And I said, my answer was, I would close the loophole. And then you asked me, what does that look like? And I said, this is what it would look like if it happened.
I thought you said he closed that loophole.
No.
I thought you said he just closed that loophole. No. Like, I don't actually know what you're talking about.
No, he didn't.
Okay, so you think that these huge billion-dollar companies, they're just putting their mailbox in another country and not paying taxes because of that?
Yeah.
That's as easy as it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind giving me like just one example of a huge company that pays no taxes? And
Amazon.
Okay.
They paid about $8 billion in taxes last year. It's far less than they should. And it's probably mostly has to do with probably paying.
Well, why did they pay $8 billion in taxes?
I don't know, but we probably subsidize them more than $8 billion a year because they pay below poverty wages in some places.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at their tax numbers and I'm like, I mean, what year did Amazon start?
Like 94?
Okay, when did they get pretty big, I guess would be the bigger question.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I guess, I don't know. I mean, they're paying quite a bit in tax. 2016, 2.4 billion, 20% tax rate.
That is not, dude.
2017, they paid, or no, that's their net income. My apologies.
Yeah, they pay extremely low poverty wages, and then we come behind them. We have to pay their employees welfare, probably to the tune of way more than $2 billion. It's pretty sad.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm reading about why they don't pay taxes. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you this. So I just gave you essentially an idea on how you could correct this, and you didn't even
Do you think there's a threshold? Do you think there's a threshold for Amazon to come back and start paying taxes? No.
Well, I'm sure that it costs them money to avoid the taxes.
I highly doubt it's more than they save.
Well, I'm sure that it's somewhere. And so what my solution would be is, I mean, what you could crack down on them. Maybe he will. I don't know. He has years left in his term. But what I'm saying is, if you're having the conversation about all these companies are not paying taxes, I mean, you effectively have two solutions. You can try and work with the companies, maybe lower the tax rate and try and get a more enforceable tax rate so that these companies are not avoiding and dodging taxes. Or two, you could just crack down on them and actually, use federal force to try and do that. But I don't know exactly
what that looks like is things that Democrats do. Like Biden passed a 15% minimum tax for companies that make $400,000 or more. He also did a thing.
That's not a lot of money, dude. $400,000 in income, passing a mandatory tax for small businesses, that doesn't sound particularly effective against large corporations.
Well, it's something, and it paid for itself. It like these are the small things that Democrats do to reduce the deficit, and Republicans don't do anything like that.
No, but okay, but you just said something that just seems just right off brand.
It brought $258 billion in last year. Also,
I understand it's going to bring you in taxes, but you're missing the point. Well, ideologically speaking.
Well, I don't get what you're saying. Like, you want us to reduce the deficit, but what does that include? Giving tax breaks, enormous tax breaks to billionaires so that maybe they come back and pay more tax? I don't get it. It's essentially always going to cost us money.
No, I mean, that's one solution. The other solution, obviously, is to renegotiate trade. And
renegotiating trade is not going to do much either. Like, so there's a bunch
I look up the customs number on how much they're collecting in tariffs right now. It won't tell me that they're collecting tens of billions of dollars in tariffs, correct?
Correct.
It won't tell me that they've effectively increased the amount of money.
We've collected about $47 billion in tariffs recently, but we've cost the world $7 trillion. So,
yeah, that's the entire premise of economy. You give, and someone takes, and someone gives. Money doesn't just create itself. When you're talking about
it's a tax on us. Yeah, so he's passed those taxes to us. Are you
suggesting that we should care as a country that, like? I mean, you just made an argument that just makes I can't even believe you just said it. So we made more money and the rest of the world lost money. So I should be upset over this after the guy literally said, we want to renegotiate trade to get more money to us because we're doing so much for other countries.
We're part of a $52 trillion.
Yeah, that's exactly what I voted for, brother.
We're a $52 trillion, part of a $52 trillion supply chain, right? So if we do something to destabilize the market, let's say in Norway, they have a very strong market for, I don't know, let's just say cows, dairy farms. And we say, listen, you got to take those dairy farm taxes off. And they're like, what the fuck? Okay. And then their dairy farmers go out of business because all of a sudden they start buying American dairy. And then all of a sudden they're a poor country. They're not going to be buying shit from us. Like, it's asinine.
Okay, but hang on. So you say those people got out of business because they start buying American milk.
Yeah.
Okay, so the people of that community start getting a commodity that they need, milk, for a lower price because they have access to a global market like the United States. So effectively, everyone pays less for their goods, and thus is the market. Someone is helped, and someone is hurted. Someone was put out of business, and someone just got a better price on milk for the rest of their life. Yes, these are the gives and the takes, but you're just making in a general sense, in a broad stroke, you're just saying that what he's doing is going to be bad no matter what. I'm telling you that because we're collecting more tariffs,
that line of logic,
that is exactly what people are voting for.
That line of logic,
morally don't agree with them.
That line of logic just justified us having free trade with China. You just ate your own foot there, bud.
No, I actually am not opposed to free trade with China. When did I say that I would be opposed to that?
This is the thing. Do you think that
That's not a point. You just said, "Oh, you just got yourself." I never said anything about it.
If you're an advocate for tariffs and doing this shit to China, and for us getting ripped off by China or having unfair trade deals with people, you would obviously admit that doing free trade and buying things with China
before you assume what I think and then say that you're right and I'm wrong.
There's no
I never even have spoken on the topic here.
There's no version of a better deal with another country that's going to make up the deficit or increase our revenue for taxes so much so that it makes it worth it. What we're essentially doing, you're being tricked into paying taxes in the form of a tariff, and you're just justifying it.
Okay, yeah, well, I mean, okay, to be fair, obviously, because this is politicians and you're on one side and I'm on the other side, I would say that we have about an equal opportunity to get tricked. Your politician wants you to believe that this guy's totally wrong, he's a complete idiot, and you shouldn't trust anything he says.
I mean, most economists say the same thing.
Well, and I'm sure that none of those people are political or in any political circles, and I'm sure that there's none of them that agree with the other side. Oh, except I already know that there are. So
there really aren't. There's Peter Navarro.
There really aren't.
No,
really. I mean, do you want to make such an obviously objective,
his economist
disprovable take and then act like it's a real point?
There's pretty much not. Yeah. So Peter Navarro is Trump's guy who's in his ear about this thing, and he has all these strange beliefs about how we should tariff the fuck out of China. And he
so Jamie Dimon, when he complimented Trump a couple of weeks ago, when that guy gave him a compliment about what he's doing, I believe he's the president of Chase Bank. What do you think about that? I mean,
let me look it up.
You don't think that he's ever gotten any compliments from any of these people that maybe run banks?
I'm pretty sure Chase Bank's the one who also came out and said that we're going to see a recession because of Trump's policies.
Okay, they've said that we're going to have a recession and then retracted that like literally 3 times in the last like 3 months. So I'm not going to listen.
And how many times have Trump retracted his tariffs?
Okay, how many years of Biden's presidency did I technically live in a fucking recession because everything was so expensive?
No, that's because of that's because of COVID.
Yeah, that's because of COVID. Okay, well, he did jack shit about it. I'm pretty sure that his sidekick wasn't going to do jack shit about it either. So at least Trump's getting it under control quick.
We did better than every country on earth.
It's like, you actually believe it's a coincidence that Trump gets in and then within 60 days inflation is like 2%. Like, you actually think that if Kamala was elected, she would have just dropped it right then. No, it's not a coincidence that every time, without exception, that he gets in office, things get cheap, the economy does well, and people on the other side lose their minds, and then they have a presidency. It's a total disaster economically, and now they just revise history.
We have about 1 or 2 weeks before we see empty shelves because of these tariffs. Walmart's already saying it, Target's already saying it, all these other things. So you can say that now, but yes, we are going to see CPI increase because of these things. We already have empty ports. We have no ships coming over. It takes about 2 weeks for ships to even get here from China. So there is a lag. And what's going to happen is Trump's going to be like, oh, well, this is the medicine I was talking about. This is when it gets hard. And you guys are going to cheer it on. And you're going to be like, listen, you just wait. And then we talk to you guys about the long-term goals and effects of Trump's tariffs and how they're incoherent as fuck too.
Yeah, okay. Or maybe it gets better. Maybe there's a couple of weeks. Maybe something happens, whatever. And then maybe at the end of 4 years, you go, wow, for some reason, everything didn't double in price. Things are cheap. Interest rates are cheap. Things are good. And we're not going to war with Russia for a bunch of bullshit. And you'll go, oh, wow. Not that bad.
Instead, we've got NATO countries.
World War III under Biden. And it comes out this week that he's not even cognitively alive.
Okay, but like, Trump's
you
literally...
guys will defend anything, man. It's insane.
We will. Trump has come out the gate, and he's talked about taking over Greenland. He's talking about taking over Panama. He's talking about Canada being the 51st state. We are no longer friends with any of our allies in NATO. They all started to negotiate to start doing their budget without us, stop buying all of our defensive weapons.
They say those things, and then they meet with him in his office a week later, and I watched the interview where they're sitting there shaking hands, kissing his ass. Literally. You can look it up and Google it, brother.
Such a cope. No, they didn't do it.
It's not a cope.
Vance came out and he's like, this is so inappropriate.
Those people sitting there kissing his ass isn't telling me everything I need to know.
People do have to constantly glaze Trump because if you stroke his ego, you get what you want. So yes, you have to come out and glaze Trump.
And he's such an idiot. Why don't they just play him like a fiddle? It seems like he kind of gets the best of everybody all the time.
Putin's played him like a fiddle, if you ask me.
Okay, yeah, we'll see about that. He sure didn't play Biden like a fiddle going into Ukraine under his presidency.
Yeah, Biden collected
Yeah.
50 countries to go rally behind Ukraine and fund
Dude,
Ukraine's
he let them
defense.
go in there in the first place.
Yeah, that's how you avoid World War III. So it is a very delicate thing how you handle a foreign invasion. So yes, you can't just go in there with troops on the ground. So like, it's an impossible standard that you guys have. Like, well, why didn't he put boots on the ground? Why didn't he bomb them to death? What's like, hello, that's exactly what you don't do. What would have Trump done? Nothing. It turns out that Trump won't do fucking
under
anything.
Biden's watch,
Trump
and
can't
so,
figure out
sorry,
what to do at
that's his
all.
track record. He's
Trump,
got to own that.
Trump can't figure out anything to do at all, right? He tweeted, "Stop it." That's about it.
Okay, dude. Now you're just getting to like the really cheap, like meaningless insults on Trump. It doesn't mean anything that you said that. But what I'm saying is something that materially happened, and you seem to dismiss it as if it is not literally integrally what we're talking
Trump
about.
can't
Under
communicate
Biden's
what
watch,
Trump
Russia
can't
went into Ukraine.
Okay.
That is what they did. They went in there.
Okay.
They have been in there.
All right.
And under Biden, his solution was essentially, we'll just go to World War III.
And now we have the Middle East on fire while Trump's in office.
I'm pretty sure I just watched him go over to the Middle East, and it looked like they threw him a Diddy party.
I like that. I like that analogy. And a plane?
Yeah, it seems like they kind of fuck with the guy. So I'm not sure that the Middle East is on fire.
Well, right. We've got Iran shitting bricks. We've got Israel beefing with Iran. We got all sorts of T groups bombing each other.
Yeah, but dude, I'm going to tell you something right now.
Sea.
There's not been a president in the last 30 fucking years who's not had to deal with Iran and fucking Israel and the bumbling fucks of the Middle East who are perpetually in war for religious reasons that go back a million years.
So it happens regardless of who's president, right? Like you don't think that Putin.
Well, Russia doesn't go into Ukraine every 5 years, but yeah,
they do
Israel
actually.
And Palestine, they pretty much beef every day.
They've been doing it since 2014.
Okay. Anyways, but I mean, so why was Ukraine under Biden? Why was it such an issue?
Well, we were actually doing a great job at defending them.
At that point,
if we put boots on the ground, that's World War III, right? So we have to fund them. We have to fund them by proxy.
Well, the other thing that I'd like to know is why did Obama, and this is admitted fact, so this isn't any conspiracy, but why did Obama send guys over there in 2014 to overthrow the democratically elected?
Because he was a pro-Russian puppet.
What was it?
He was a pro-Russian puppet.
Who was a pro-Russian puppet?
Yes, the leader of Ukraine back then was a pro-Russian puppet. Yes.
Okay, so what you're suggesting is that basically Russia installed a guy over in Ukraine.
Yes.
Okay, and so you're saying that the proper response is for a country that is thousands of miles away on the other side of the world to go install their guy.
Yes, we do it all the time.
I'm not arguing whether or not we do it all the time. I'm just pointing out that you literally. So I'm just wondering your thoughts.
Yeah, so like
and it pretty much makes a lot of sense.
If you don't want to fight people, if you don't want to spend trillions of dollars on war on the other side of the world, you do things like stage coups in countries. Yeah.
Okay, so but you seem to be missing the entire point, and I think it's intentional. So what I'm suggesting is that maybe even if you're going to go stage coups in other companies or in other countries, maybe don't do it to one of the world's 3 superpowers, essentially on their border in land that they owned in previous years. So what I'm suggesting is Obama doing that is essentially the first step in America and Russia fighting in World War III if that were to happen. He would basically be the person who started it, and he would be the aggressor.
So when we see corruption
and you're saying
in another country's government,
because a country that used to be Russia,
yes, they
had
were
someone who was installed.
They were one of the most corrupt countries on earth back then. Yes, we tried to help them out and get a leader elected.
This is such a leader. You talk about coke, dude. Holy shit.
It was just Google it. Just Google it. You can just see that Ukraine was considered one of the most corrupt countries on earth. When
Russia's pretty fucking corrupt too, buddy. They used to be part of Russia.
Yeah, I know. And that's why Putin is invading them.
That doesn't justify going over there and installing a pro-American government.
Well,
essentially in Russian territory.
If you hate that so much, you'll condemn Trump for doing it in Venezuela.
That's the thing. I don't know as much about that. I don't know exactly how true that is. I don't know the history, but I do know. Okay, yeah, but the world's not almost in a nuclear war because they're not fucking Russia. they're not one of the biggest, most powerful, deadly countries on the planet. So I'm just suggesting, it seems like you don't want to just face the reality of the fact, which is like, dude, I mean, you're not going to sit here and convince anybody that Trump is this guy who could almost cause World War III, and he doesn't have as good a foreign policy as the other presidents. They're literally insane.
How willing are you to be for U.S. to be pulling out of NATO? Tell me.
Completely willing. Are you kidding me?
I rest my case.
Okay, so when we pull out of NATO, if the world doesn't end and America doesn't just cease to exist, then I guess I'm right and you're wrong. And you're sitting there with a dumb smile on your face for no reason.
Well, you just, yeah. So like a lot of the people on your side have been propagandized to be like pro-Russia and consider them not the aggressor of this war. And for Biden,
I'm not
for some
pro-Russia.
reason,
It's not pro-Russia. It's anti-aggression and anti-war.
For
toward
Biden
other
to somehow
countries,
be responsible for Putin's horrible aggression to its neighbors, that's wild to me. And then at the same time, not be willing to fund Ukraine in its defense against a horrible invader. And for
we should go protect Ukraine, but we know for an absolute fact that the people that are directly south of us in Mexico have a huge gang issue. Why don't we go over there and send the Marines in there and save their people too? I'm pretty sure there's millions of people in Mexico who are suffering under gang rule right now, but you don't seem to give a fuck about that. You seem to be only caring about
the government doesn't want us to do that. The Mexico government doesn't want us to do that.
The Mexico government that's run by the cartel,
okay,
dipshit.
That's
Holy
conspiratorial.
Fuck. How do you not get
conspiratorial?
That? Conspiratorial.
Yeah, it's not proven.
Not proven.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's literally your response for anything that is pretty much obvious fact, right? It's pretty obvious. But you go, no, that's just not proven.
I guess that's what you have to say, but
we'll just pretend like it doesn't exist.
I mean, Trump's literally having to consider the cartel a T group when they're not, definitionally they're not, so that he can use the military to go do this stuff. And like I said,
so the videos
you guys
of
are
the
like
cartels
Trump is
in the woods where they blow people apart with bombs.
You don't
think that they're
you guys are championing Trump for being no new wars, but here we are. You advocating for this, for us to pull out of NATO, all these things. You're glazing Trump for it.
No, I asked you why wouldn't we go
anyway.
to Mexico? I don't think we should, but you want to go to Ukraine and save them from
Trump's
Russia.
doing.
So why don't we go to Mexico and save them from the cartels? In
Because
fact, why don't we go everywhere in
that's
the
a
entire
homegrown
world
issue.
and save the oppressed people of the world from the people who rule their countries?
Okay, well, that's what Trump is trying to do, right? To Greenland and to Panama.
No, I mean, obviously not. I don't think there's any plans to actually invade those countries or take them over. So, I mean, so you're just grasping at straws, right?
No, I'm not.
You read something in the news. You don't
dead serious
understand
about
They
that,
talked
right?
about this. They want to make a deal with these countries because of security reasons. Yada yada yada.
They're already part of NATO. Why? So that's part. If you bought that, I feel bad for you.
Okay, I mean that's fine. It makes no difference to me. Okay, so give me the day one we pull out of NATO. What's the huge issue that we face?
So that automatically puts Russia in a better position. It makes us alone on the world stage. It makes us more susceptible to attacks as well. We don't have any.
Okay,
of
so
our
if you
friends.
formed other alliances and left NATO, like obviously I don't think you would leave unless you had some kind of alliance with other people.
Let me guess: Russia, North Korea.
No, probably like the people that are on the continent with us. Probably Mexico, South America.
We're making great friends with Mexico and Canada right now. Let me tell you.
I'm sure they'd come around. I mean, what are they going to do about it?
You see how this is dumb? Like Trump has talked cash shit about everybody that we need to make a deal with or be friends with on the world stage, and he's shit on every one of our relationships. So that's why he has to do this crazy tariff shit, because he cannot get anyone to do anything out of good faith.
I mean, if you think that it's you see, this is kind of the issue with why I have a really difficult time believing a lot of what I hear on the left. The entire argument comes from this like smug sense of like the other people are so stupid that it doesn't even seem like you can see any single point that I've made or like any single good shining light about anything Trump has done. So you sit here and like smugly basically make fun of everything that I say is good about him, and it doesn't actually come across that you intellectually know what the argument is and understand what we're talking about. It just seems like
I doubt you could say one good thing about
telling you so that you can then just have a smug reaction to it for TikTok.
I doubt you could have one good thing to say about Hitler, dude. I bet you're just so blind to the bad things Hitler's done. You can't say one good thing. Like, he was a good painter. Like, that's what I hear when you say that. I think Trump is a horrible
Yeah, so you're
leader.
just saying that the leader of the country that you live in is literally
A fascist, yeah.
Hitler. Yeah, no, you just used the word Hitler. That's how you feel about it. Great. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just think that you literally are out of your mind. I think that you're sitting in a if we were living under Hitler's rule, yeah, I'm pretty sure things would be a lot different than what they are right now. Pretty sure the world would look a lot differently. Like,
yeah. Who's our like? Didn't we lose all of our friends recently? Trump is literally
lose
using
all of our friends recently.
Trump
what
is
an actually hilarious comparison to how Hitler's rule.
Okay.
Didn't we lose all of our friends recently?
Yeah. I mean, it didn't just happen in 1 year, right?
Yeah, renegotiating trade and getting into a battle in
trade.
I mean, between politicians is not the definition of what
It takes
Hitler did.
years for us to renegotiate.
It's honestly disrespectful to the people that were victims of Hitler being on this earth that you would compare
I
Donald
don't think
Trump
so. I think that just about
it's disingenuous at best.
Just about all of them would agree. Just about all of them would agree.
Really? Yeah. Well, I mean, unfortunately, the people that are on the right in this country and the people that are independent in this country, given the last election, just patently disagree with you. So you're actually in the minority. You're in an echo chamber listening to other people who tell you this. But the reality is that the majority of people disagree with you.
I host a debate platform and I ask for the opposite opinion all day, every day. So it's quite opposite of an echo chamber. Second of all, if you went through the 14 tenets of fascism with me, I could substantiate this to 100%. He's 10 out of 10.
I bet I could substantiate it for any president in the last 25 years.
Let's do it.
I bet they're all fascists.
Let's do it.
Genuinely.
Okay.
I mean, fuck. I mean, there's so many things the federal government has done wrong in the last 30 years. Any president you could look at and go, yeah, these people are absolute tyrants. They're powerful, hungry, leaders of countries of the world. So yeah.
Okay. Power and continuing nationalism. Let's talk about make America great again. America first. Wearing American flags all over the place. Having American flag T-shirts, American flag face paint. Having the American flag tattoo. Wrap your truck with American flags. Have 13 American flags on your boat. All that shit. Let's see. Disdain for recognition of human rights. You guys are like on week 3 of trying to justify how there is a certain sect of our government or our populace that doesn't have due process. Also, you guys took away the right for women to have pro-choice. You guys are also...
No, we didn't. It got reduced to the state level instead of the federal level, but that's a cheeky and completely wrong and obviously intentionally misleading way of putting it.
You guys are for federal
control. Not a cope at all. The states get to vote on it. It's not illegal federally.
Disdain for human rights. You guys still believe that people like Obrego Garcia shouldn't have had due process. Identification for enemies and scapegoats, unifying cause. I can just say Nancy Pelosi, Hunter Biden, immigrants in general.
Donald Trump to you guys. Yeah.
No, like no one's out there. Like if we had a like political leader going around saying we need to lock Donald Trump up and do all that stuff like he does to everyone else.
Brother, they literally have tried to lock him up for the last
crimes that he did. For crimes that he did. Supremacy.
Yeah, except most of those crimes, literally like 98% of people, if you ask them, will say, yeah, we knew that it was obviously bullshit.
Yeah, I've actually talked to...
And that's why he went to court and then people still voted for him overwhelmingly.
Yeah, 99.999% of everybody I've talked to, and probably including you, have no idea about any of his indictments.
Well, I'm just telling you. Okay, so 99%. So let's just talk voters, okay? More people voted for him than they voted for your guy. So what I'm saying is that if we just go on majority rules, my idea and what I believe is actually better than your idea because more people believe it, and so it makes it more true.
Your appeal to popularity is pretty much a fallacy. So like the appeal to
popularity is how you actually get to enforce your idea in this country by electing someone on your side.
I get it.
So we won. So that's your problem.
There used to be a time in which let's say everybody thought slavery was okay. Does that make slavery okay?
I don't even know why you're asking such an irrelevant question.
That's what I thought. Supremacy of the military. Number 4. Trump is trying to do military parades. He's dumped $2.2 trillion extra into the military. No matter what, we're going to start cutting kids' school lunches and like federal funding for schools before we start.
Okay, we should look up the amount of people that the military bombed under their reign. So we should look up like the numbers of people that we killed with bombs.
Okay, and Trump is 450% higher than Obama. So I win that one too. Rampant sexism.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you wanted to say who was more of a war hawk, that's how I would.
It was Trump.
That would be what I believe.
There you go. Rampant sexism. Trump says grab him by the pussy. He called He called E. Jean Carroll horseface, not the chosen one, not his type.
He called Rosie O'Donnell, I think, a fat dyke.
There you go. And you can't say that word here anymore. Controlled
my
mass
bad.
media. Trump is using the FCC to pretty much harass every news station that he doesn't like. He's also suing news stations
but Biden did that thing with the FCC before the election too, where he like fast tracked the purchase of like 91 radio stations by a left-wing donor. So that was like kind of a problem too.
All right, but that's not shutting anyone down.
Okay, but that would be influencing the media, buying media to put your sling in.
But basically kicking people out of the Oval Office who are part of certain media groups, etc. There you go. Calling them illegal on the world stage. Disgusting. Religion and government are intertwined. Every day before Carolyn Levitt comes out and lies to the public, she does a prayer. He also started a federal task force for anti-Christian bias. So they're going to go around making sure everybody doesn't talk bad about Christianity. He also has Oklahoma introducing his Trump Bible into schools, which is absolutely disgusting because it has his name on the
this
front.
is going to be one where me and you just fundamentally disagree. What's the next one?
You can't just disagree with that.
Corporate
power is protected. Trump is giving giant tax breaks and cutting all red tape for corporations to come in and fuck up consumer rights protections. He also is gutting the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau so that people can be ripped off again. He also took away the law that Biden passed that was stopping banks from doing huge overdraft fees on regular people. I don't know, that helped a few banks. That was pretty tight for him. Then we have labor power suppressed. Trump recently fired the NLRB. I don't know how he actually earned the vote of some of the union workers.
All right,
but
I don't
Trump
think I
is
want to go through
anti-union.
literally all of these and listen to you
We're
just
almost
give
done.
like one after another. I mean, this is just kind of...
We're almost done. Disdain for intellectuals and arts. I've had 3 people today actually come up and tell me how college is dumb and that people can be too educated. And yada yada. You've heard Trump and Vance talk about baristas who have a degree.
Well,
in
actually, okay. So on that topic, you don't
studies.
think that there's any. I mean, you don't think that the universities, being what they are, you don't find any issue with that at all.
Absolutely not. No.
You don't. So you think that it's acceptable that 70 years ago, the universities that existed in the United States were the best in the entire world, and then now, on average, the universities in the United States they're not up to the world standards. Obviously,
you got beef with Reagan then. So Reagan actually took away the subsidies for universities from the federal government because he didn't want everybody going to school and being smart because he wants to be able to control the population. And
why should we give them subsidies?
Because every other advanced country.
Yeah, but we're
Earth
subsidizing the loans for the people who go to them.
Yeah.
So one of the issues is that you're subsidizing them, and then you're also literally paying for the people to go on. They
artificially made it expensive for us to go to school, and now we're just seeing that the right associates.
But I would just agree with you fundamentally. I mean, this is just college and the government. I mean, the colleges, they charge so much tuition because they know that the students are able to get that much aid without that much underwriting.
You can just go read about it. It's Ronald Reagan's fault. He wanted us dumb.
Okay, so that's another one. Well, that one's a little bit older. But yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing on the history of the United States, people robbing the middle class and doing bad things.
Okay, rampant cronyism, corruption. I think before Trump came around this time, he had about 12 or 13 people in his inner circle that he still works with today. Peter Navarro, Steve Bannon, all these people that he pardoned from
all
felonies.
These rich guys who are totally fucking insane hanging out together. I know, on all sides of the aisle.
Charles Kushner, etc. Okay.
Yeah. Every politician.
Fraudulent elections. I probably don't need to go into that, but yeah, Trump has been crying for 4 years that the election was stolen from him. And now that he's president again,
and the left is crying currently about this one, so we'll just say equal on that.
No one's saying that right now.
I totally disagree with you. I mean, maybe you don't see it, but yeah, there's a lot of people who have been bitching about Trump.
I got a feeling it's a little bit different. If I can, even if it's a possibility that I don't see it, Trump was screaming from the highest roof in the nation, saying that this was stolen from him. He was rallying for 4 years, holding rallies, being super spreader events while there was COVID happening, just so that he could say that the election was stolen. The big lie.
Yeah, that was kind of like when the Democrats needed everyone to stay inside, except for the riots were totally okay because it was Black Lives Matter.
Well, if you can name a politician that advocated for everybody to go riot, let me know.
I mean, there's several Democrat politicians who say that we need to fight, we need to get physical, we need to literally do all kinds of things. There's videos of it everywhere. I mean, they literally incite violence probably every single day at this point. So,
okay. Probably
I just
close
answered
to
your
January
question
6th.
very directly. I mean, not even close.
Okay, but nobody on our side is screaming from the rooftop. The election was stolen, like trying to raise the alarm. We need to go do investigations, and Trump needs to be locked up right now because of it. Nobody's doing that, but we are.
Yeah, I mean,
Elon
I saw
Musk.
a bunch of people on the left saying that Elon Musk controlled the election and that
he did $247 million and giving it away like $1 million at a time. We could definitely. I think you'd be really hard pressed to not agree that he affected the election.
I definitely think that he affected the election. But again, it's like there's donors on the left too. So it's like just because I don't know the name of the guy who donated $200 million to the Democrats doesn't mean that he doesn't exist. And it doesn't mean that we are going to crucify the right for it and then just completely overlook the left doing it.
Well, the thing is,
it's like you're making a criticism of Trump that you're not willing to make to the other side.
When a billionaire,
that is just intellectually dishonest.
When a billionaire donates to the left, they're donating for things like their own taxes to be increased.
Okay, but this is such a ridiculous argument. When people do it on my side, they're doing it for good reasons, or they're doing it for tax breaks. When people are doing it on his side, they're doing it for fascist, evil reasons. Yeah. This is just deductive, primal thinking. This isn't actually an argument.
No, that's just like literally it paid off for itself, right? So $247 million.
That's your rationale. That's how you're rational.
It's nothing close to the 5% reduction in taxes that Elon's going to have for all of his businesses, and for the $8 million a day. Okay, that we
didn't you just say that people on the left are doing it for tax cuts, and then now you're making the argument? Well, this is going to affect Elon Musk because he gets 5% tax.
People on the left are doing it to increase taxes on themselves.
Give me a break. Give me a break. So Jeff Bezos has been donating to the left so vigorously for the last 8 years. The guy that we've talked about how he pays zero taxes. Mm-hmm. So for some reason, he's allowed to get away with all these tax havens, having a mailbox in wherever.
Maybe
he's donating so much money to and you don't think it's happening on your side. And so you're just fundamentally
so there's actual things
dishonest
we can actually just look at the policies the left and right pass, and yes, I would say that our intentions are much better.
No, don't pivot off of the donations and the people who donate and then what they get in return.
When you're advocating for the left, you're advocating for things like workers' rights. You're advocating for if you're on the left, but on the right, you're advocating for God, guns, and Bibles.
They're obviously benefiting as well. So let's just go ahead and make
they're benefiting from straight profit.
Okay, just listen. Just hear me out. You're basically making the argument that the people on the left are donating to make life harder on themselves, right? I just gave you a patently open example of someone who owns $1 billion company or a $100 billion company or whatever it is, who pays, and you were bitching about him earlier, how he pays literally no taxes, and he also donates millions of dollars to one side of the government, and he also owns media outlets so that he can swing news on things.
So
you don't see. Hang on. So I just gave you an example of him benefiting from the government, paying zero tax on a company that big. You're saying that him donating to those politicians and him paying effectively zero tax on one of the biggest companies in the world, he's somehow not profiting off of that.
No, you'd have to tell me like the motives for him like donating to the left, because again, what we usually see is a better economy under Democrats. So he probably does get more money when the economy does better and buys more things from Amazon.
You're just making this on assumptions, though. I'm sitting here like should these people be doing these things in the first place? If you're willing to criticize one side,
I don't think billionaires.
Why don't you criticize the other side with the same velocity?
I don't think billionaires should exist at all, but I can see motives for people who donate to each side. And for the right, you're looking for bills to be passed, such as giant tax breaks for yourself, to take people's labor rights away. I don't know, to gut things like USAID. It's definitely not because you want, I don't know, the ability, you want women to stop having healthcare or something.
I mean, that was kind of just word salad of like a bunch of different things that you don't like about the right.
Name a thing on the right. Name a type of policy on the right that people pass that is like altruistic, that like just helps the country in general, that like helps maybe poor people or veterans or something. Go ahead and tell me.
The Right to Try Act. He passed it in his first term.
That's the one thing that I will agree with you on. Just that one. Okay. Anything else?
So I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm being deadly serious with you. I find it hard to believe that there's anyone out there that is so dense that they would say that's the only thing he's ever done that I agree
Name
with.
another
I mean,
thing?
even if you are not a
Name
fan
something
of
else
Trump,
I should agree with besides like the Animal Cruelty Act and maybe the prison reform, the First Step Act.
he
That's about
increased
it.
funding to HBCUs.
No, he didn't. He decreased it.
No, he absolutely did. Come on, this is
Let's talk about it.
verifiably easy.
Okay, here you go. Obama donated $4 billion during his term. Trump reduced it to $250 million a year, and then Biden increased it to $16 billion.
Okay, hang on. It's gonna mute me. Hang on.
Chat, tap the screen. If you enjoy these debates, give me a follow. Was dinner good? It was delicious. It was delicious. I'm gonna grab a bubbly.
Okay, so he did restore the funding to 250 million. They had not renewed that in Congress, so he brought that back. He put that on the agenda and he brought it back. So I'm confused. Why would they let that slip off in Biden's term?
Biden did 16 billion.
Where did he do 16 billion? Why wasn't he funding the 250 million or the 250? That
250 million was for 10 years. The 16 billion was totally separate.
So he gave them that much money, or did he pledge money?
17.
Okay, and then go to and then say Trump's. Let me just Google Trump's.
Um, 322, 100 million, 255 million. Permanent annual funding for Pell Grants.
Are you mad being a POC on learning your daddy gave less to your community? No, I mean I don't. Okay, so HBCU. Okay, so Biden and Obama gave more money. I don't know exactly. To be honest with you, it actually sounds reckless giving $40 billion to colleges, but I'm not sure what the fuck. I mean, holy shit. I mean, they better be the nicest fucking
right.
colleges.
Well, there you go. Now you're condemning people for giving money to colleges. Come on, dude.
No, I'm just saying the difference between 250 million and fucking $40 billion.
I think
$40 billion
250 million is reckless. Why does Donald Trump encourage welfare queens? Why is he doing handouts? That just seems like an awful thing. He's fiscally irresponsible.
Give me an example of such.
250 million a year by your count.
How many did we do in Biden's term or historically?
No.
What's our average?
About Donald Trump being a fiscal hawk, right? So
I'm just asking. So how much have we been doing?
I'm just saying, like, it seems like a total handout to people that didn't really earn it. You know, they didn't really put in the sweat equity, right?
Like, are you suggesting that we cut all welfare?
What behavior is this going to encourage? They might get lazy. They might start thinking that, hey, they're entitled to this. Then they'll just get used to, sucking off the government teat, as it were. You know. That's what.
To be honest, I don't know where you're going with this now.
Yeah, no. I'm being facetious.
Yeah, I think he's just.
Yeah, I can tell you're being
Republican-
facetious. I just don't think that
the
Really
the Republican racket of saying that maybe social welfare programs contribute to habitually lazy people to suck off the teat of the government. Yet you champion it when it's in Trump's favor, and you shame us when it's not.
No, you asked me something that I thought was positive, and I gave you one thing that he did. I didn't champion him. I'm not sucking him off. I'm not doing anything crazy. You asked me for things, and the first two things I gave you agree with.
You did exactly what Pickles described just now, which is you praised Donald Trump for doing $250 million a year to HBCUs.
For restoring it. Yeah, I thought that them taking it away.
Okay, cool. So $250 million a year.
To be honest, my argument wasn't that he gave the most. It was just that I heard that the funding got cut and that he brought it back to those
$250 million a year to HBCUs. That's a good thing. $16 billion to HBCUs. That's a bad thing.
Do I think that you could explore why it would be that much more money? Yeah, I think that it's reasonable to ask the question. I mean, sorry that I had an original thought.
Maybe there's like a really dark history for something we did to a certain class of people that majorly like go to those colleges.
So you think that you just owe them money in perpetuity?
Yeah.
Is that the suggestion, or
I don't know, to like kind of like repair the damage that was done to a community, like a reparation of sorts? Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Oh my God! This is such a stupid. I mean, really, this is where you want to go?
$16
billion.
Like
the white guilt, like,
$16 billion.
That's your argument for me.
Do you think $16 billion makes it okay?
The government is not a white or a black entity. I don't believe that they should be in the business of racial justice. I think that they should just do the next best thing for the citizens who live here now.
So you should really.
I know
condemn
that's difficult
Trump.
for you to believe because you see the world through the lens of race.
So you should condemn Trump for doing that then, in any regard.
No, I thought restoring that funding is good. It's to an educational place.
He didn't
whether it's
restore it.
black,
He
white,
reduced
Asian,
it.
Chinese. He
Like
gave it
whatever
to people to learn on brand.
The way
That's
you're talking about it, restoring it is silly. Obama literally did $4 billion, and Trump went down to $250 million. Restoring it's a weird way to put it, man.
I mean, I just have to see the entire history of this. For some reason, I find it odd that the number would jump to $40 billion when it sounds like the original funding was $250 million. I mean, it's like you're acting like that bill used to say $40 billion. I've got a suspicion that the entire amount of investments isn't just from the government.
$4 billion.
Like the way that you Googled the question was actually kind of interesting because it said Obama investments under his name. It didn't say under his administration how much is the federal government. So your numbers, I'm not entirely sure are represented.
What numbers are those, by the way?
I couldn't hear what you just said.
What numbers are those, by the way?
Those are just the ones that he showed on the screen.
Yeah. What was the number?
Just I don't look up like federal
was
funding.
Was it 40?
HBCUs by year.
Did you say 40?
Just 4.
Yeah. He corrected you twice, but you kept talking, so I worry that you didn't hear.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Just look up the HBCU funding by year.
It was Obama. He signed an executive order to do it.
Okay, so that was a one-time thing. That was not like a bill where they're like the federal. It sounds like I mean these are two different bills. It sounds like a 2-on-1. How cheap? Yeah, I know this always happens.
Yeah, this is. I usually do 1v1s on my channel all the time. Nemo recently reached out and asked if he can come up and hang out sometime, so that's what I'm doing. I dare you to find me a MAGA live that has less than a full panel of MAGA people. I've never seen one.
Yeah, I don't know, but okay,
okay.
But aside from the point, so he comes in, and you basically just made some big spiel about how it sounds like you don't think that I think that like any welfare should exist or anything like that. I've never made those points. So coming in and like trying to make fun of me for a point that I've never made, I just want to say I think that it's kind of disingenuous.
This
like
is your
it's just kind of like attacking
it's
me
your-
on something that I never said.
It's your
to prove a
party's
point that you're
mantra.
not willing to
Give me a
make.
break. It's your party's mantra, and for you to pretend like that's not part of your party's mantra, you're co-signing every time you vote for Republicans.
Yeah, I don't know that I would agree with that. I mean, that sounds like someone who dislikes the side that I, at the moment, agree with more. Because one, really, they're not my side. It's just currently what they have, right? Like, I voted on the other side of the aisle before. It's not that crazy. Like,
Let me guess. You voted for Obama. That's what I always hear.
I voted for Obama. I voted for other Democrats that have ran in like state elections. Like, no, I mean, it's like, honestly, it just depends on the individual people that are running. I mean, the Republicans of 10 years ago are not the Republicans of today.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, they're totally different. So I don't know. I mean, my response. But no, I never said anything about that kind of stuff. So I don't really understand like the coming into the live and then.
Well, I mean, okay. Trump cutting all of those social safety nets. You're okay with that? Yet, thank God he gave $250 million a year to HBCUs. It's just silly. It's inconsistent with the whole.
Okay, so
view
you
of
just
your
said something
party.
like getting rid of social nets. I don't know what you're even talking about. I never said anything about social nets. So you need to explain that before you just make a claim and then roll with it.
Are you aware that Trump cut funding to NOAA, which is our national weather system? And then after 3 red states very recently, like last month, got fucked up by tornadoes, after you guys all talked and yelled and screamed about Biden only giving $750 to each victim of the hurricane, even though that's what was congressionally approved, you're totally fine. You're totally quiet when Trump removes FEMA entirely from all of these red states that got hit. Like, you guys are so quiet. You guys are fine with it. Like, there's no consistency whatsoever in backing Trump besides just loving Trump.
Did he make any other programs, or is just any other funding in any other way?
Nope.
You're certain of that?
I am 1000% certain on it, yes.
So he did not work with the state government in any capacity at all to try and help?
Nope.
Okay. You should Google that.
I'll let you do it.
Okay, what state was it?
Arkansas, Huckabee.
So how's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. It's a little high emotions right now, but we're doing okay. How are you, man? Good to see you.
All right. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Let me take this thing off the screen.
Okay, 7 days ago, there was a press release from FEMA that the federal government has approved aid for Arkansas.
FEMA Mississippi tornado survivors await assistance. President Trump approves major disaster. Oh. Delivers disaster assistance to Arkansas. Oh, dang.
Uh-oh. He's not that bad after all. Uh-oh.
Chuck Arkansas is a productive conversation. His plans to reform FEMA, save money, greater director assistance in disasters. I'm also thankful. I bet you he's given $750 again, too. Arkansas request for federal disaster assistance approved, finally. So he actually initially told them no, and then Huckabee said, I implore you to change your mind, and that's it.
That's how Trump is, bro. He makes you beg for it a little bit. You got to really want it.
Kind of weird. I wonder if he's going to help any blue states when the time comes. He's already.
Oh, he's going to make them beg on their hands and knees, brother.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Kiss the ring. Do what I say. Take away sanctuary cities. Like, while your party champions states' rights, you're all about when Trump leverages the federal government to bend it as well.
No, it's honestly, that's just humor. I don't actually think that
you're laughing at people's suffering.
Party over a country.
There are people literally suffering. Their lives are upside down. It's only the Republicans would laugh at that. It's just so gross, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not allowed to have any humor about anything, I don't know. I mean, that's your
people dying.
It's not people dying. I made a joke over the fact that Nancy Pelosi and Trump hate each other enough to where they would actually leverage politics because they individually dislike each other. That's the joke. I don't know if the humor goes directly over your head. I didn't laugh at people dying. That's completely disingenuous. You're trying to make me out to be someone that I'm not. You're constantly pushing me from someone who's saying something reasonable to someone who's saying something truly evil and really serious.
Disasters. I don't know. I must have missed a joke, man. I must have missed a joke. Sorry.
I'm just telling you. I mean, I don't know why you're doing that. It's like an odd thing to.
Making people beg for aid when you guys literally were running around with your hair on fire when people were getting $750, no questions asked from Biden.
Oh my God. Okay, so seriously, like if you were in a room with someone and you were talking about Trump and the Democrats and how they fight and hate each other or something like that, and you were talking about aid and you said, "Man, I wonder if he's going to give aid to blue states," and someone said, "Oh, he's going to make them beg for it," like joking. It's just joking. I mean, seriously. Like,
okay,
you can't be that
You're
sensitive.
joking, but he is literally going to do that, right?
Okay, but he hasn't done it.
Yes,
It's
he
in
has.
theory. It's like if I was joking about like I'm making up a
Didn't he-
story.
Didn't he do that to California last time he was president?
I don't know.
He
If
did.
he
it this
did,
time.
that's
He
not good. But you're missing the point that you're making.
You're missing the
simple
point that
humor
what
out
you're
to be
laughing
something
about
like
is reality.
only Republicans would be this evil.
He literally did it this time too, like with the wildfires.
With which
man.
with what state?
With the wildfires. So I'll find the clip of what I'm talking about. But like he went to California during the most recent wildfires. I don't know. This would have been in January, maybe February. And he said, you know, we're not going to give aid unless they do some type of modification to their election laws.
Oh yeah. Voter ID and shit, wasn't it?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the clip of it. Hold up.
Kelly, thank you for the $40, and TikTok user, you have a good one. Thank you for the kick. W Kelly's in the chat. That was a louder conversation 90% of the time than I wanted it to be.
That was my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell.
Not you.
So this is the clip that I was talking about.
I want to see two things in Los Angeles: voter ID, so that the people have a chance to vote, and I want to see the water be released and come down into Los Angeles and throughout the state. Those are the two things. After that, I will be the greatest president that California has ever seen. I want the water to come down and come down to Los Angeles, and also go out to all the farmland that's barren and dry. You know, they have land that they say is the equivalent of the land in Iowa, which is about as good as there is anywhere on earth. The problem is it's artificial, because they artificially stop the water from going onto the land. So I want two things. I want voter ID for the people of California, and they all want it. Right now, you don't have voter ID. People want to have voter identification. You want to have proof of citizenship. Ideally, you have one-day voting, but I just want voter ID as a start, and I want the water to be released, and they're going to get a lot of help from the U.S. Thank you very much.
The funny part is that this was on, of all things, Iowa News Now. I don't know why their YouTube channel has this on here, other than like, I guess he mentions Iowa for half a second, but yeah. So that's the thing.
Someone was claiming that I didn't get paid to kick. That's why I showed that. I'm not bragging how I got $40. Give me a break. Hello? Selena? What? Okay, they're not here. Chat, if you're a Trump supporter, you want to debate, hop in the box. Come tell me why you like Trump.
I heard that I missed a interesting conversation about fascism.
Yeah. My spiel about the 14 tenets. Always got to go through it. Always gotta educate.
Have you ever seen? Do you know Bo the Fifth Columnist? So he's a YouTuber. He's kind of retired at this point. Someone else has taken over for his channel, but he is the caricature of what you think like a good old boy, like redneck looks like, or like a hillbilly. You know, he's got like big beard, you know, trucker hat, like the whole 9 yards. And he did this video years ago about the 14 tenets, and the way that he structured it was genius. So it was the last day of the Trump administration, and he said, somebody reached out to me, they were a Trump supporter, and they asked if I could go over the accomplishments of the Trump administration and lay out, like, you know, what in their eyes they think were good things. And he said, I'm going to do 6 good things, then one thing that even Trump supporters, I think, would agree was bad, then another 6 good things, and then one more thing that, again, even Trump supporters would say, it's kind of bad. And he laid out the 14 tenets of fascism. Just, he phrased it in a different way, but he laid out all 14. And at the end of it, he said, here's the reason why people were so scared of Donald Trump and why your liberal friends kept telling you that this is serious and you need to be worried about this. Those 14 things that I just laid out are the 14 tenets of fascism.
True. Guys, if you're a Trump supporter, come hop in the guest box. I was gonna say, I thought he stopped. Yeah, no. I just showed my phone again, dude. If you still don't believe it, that someone paid a kick, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Insane. $15.10. This is being a Democrat. Give me a break. What the hell? Da-da-dum. Just give me the number. All right. Here's the deal. I can put the phone number up, but oh, here we go. Insane. Yellow.
Pickles.
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
Of course.
Are you? I can hear my stream in the background. You mind turning it down?
You hear me now, brother?
I can hear you, but I hear my other thing as well.
Oh, you also hear? Let me rejoin in a bit. How about that?
I think it's fine now.
Oh, it's good now?
Yeah. What do you?
How you doing, man?
Doing good. What do you like about Trump?
Well, I think Trump is bringing America back to where it should be. I think he's making America great again.
Restoring it back to its better. It's better.
Absolutely. We're going to have less taxes.
Ooh.
We have a
less
world
taxes?
that respects us, world leaders respecting us, and
I'll debate
what more
you on
could
those.
you ask for?
All right. First of all, if you're making under $360,000, are you?
Am I making on? Yes, I am. Absolutely.
Right, so your taxes are going to go up.
In what way? What bill is going to make my taxes go up?
I'll show you the ITEP policy on it.
How you doing, man? You're going to show me the what on it?
Have you heard of the Institution of Taxation and Policy, Economic Policy?
Isn't that a think tank?
No.
No, it's not. What is it then?
It's a .org.
It's a .org,
Yeah,
aka
it's a
an
non-profit.
organization?
Non-profit.
So an organization, that's a think tank.
There you go. Here
Wait,
is.
hold on. Why won't you admit that it's a think tank?
What is
Why
a
won't you
think
admit
tank to you? Like, they don't sit around trying to figure out ways to make Trump look bad. They're sitting around
Is that
assessing.
what a think tank is? Is a think tank people who just make Trump look bad? Is that what a think tank is?
I don't know. What is it to you?
You're gonna show me the what? I have the definition of a think tank.
Okay, I don't know if we want to split hairs on what a think tank is. This is
Well, I'm just saying you turned it down, saying no, it's not, as if they're not a think tank.
Okay,
and my bad, Chad. I got rid of YouTube. My bad. Thanks for the heads up.
All right, let's talk about what this actually says. Okay, if you're on the left side of this graph and there's a yellow bar above you in your pay grade or in your income range, you're paying more taxes. So if you're on the right, making $360,000 or more, and in fact, if you're on the left, these numbers are likely to be higher because Trump's tariffs are now higher than what they were when they estimated these numbers. But
Trump's tariffs are higher than when they estimate. When did they estimate this?
2024 October.
2024.
So they thought it was going to be 25.
Nothing to do with the bill that is being worked on right now. Nothing to do with that. This was last year.
It's all of those things, the promises that were in those bills. Yes.
What do you mean? How is this bill being taken into account when this was last year's data?
Okay, so in 2024,
Yeah.
They said this is what Trump's proposal is on your
But not
taxes.
the actual bill. They're taking his words and then they're figuring out what the effect is
All
going
right.
to be on the taxes.
Let's see if they have it like one for today. But this is
Yeah,
what
sure.
you voted for when you were informed
Yeah.
in October last year, November.
Mhm.
You were saying I am down for paying more taxes, and
I
I promise
voted
you that
for
hasn't
paying more
changed.
taxes.
Yes,
How so?
because that's what the math was.
Okay, but did Donald Trump say I'm paying more in taxes?
No, he lied to you.
So I voted for someone who said I'm not going to pay more in taxes, though. Is that fair?
Correct. So like for
Okay.
for
So
almost
you're
10
saying
years,
if a
you
think tank though says otherwise, then that's incorrect.
think
If the
tank, I
think
guess, is
if
one
the
way to put
think
it.
tank says last year that I'm
Yeah.
going to pay more in taxes, then that's the correct thing.
If the
Gotcha,
people who are in charge of analyzing our economic policy and our taxes say
Mhm.
that, that's what I believe. Also, Tax
gotcha.
Foundation says the
Wait, so
same
are
thing.
they in charge of the policy? Is this
No,
organization?
that's
Oh,
what
okay.
these people do. They analyze
Oh,
policy
okay.
and they say this is how it affects you.
But they're not in charge of the policy, like you just said.
No, this is what they
Okay.
do is they just analyze policy and they say this is how it affects each class. That's what they did on
Okay.
this chart.
So in this chart, show me the rationale behind it. Words.
It's just math. No rationale.
Math based on what though? Math has to be based on
So
something.
they replicated Trump's they replicated his tax cuts and jobs act, renewing it. And then they said, I believe it's 25% taxes on China. And then I believe they went with
Wait, so you're saying they replicated his tax policy that he had in what 2017, 2018?
yeah, which was what he promised.
So,
Yes.
so you're saying my taxes went up because of that tax cut? Okay, well they
Yes.
didn't. I mean, you're telling me that they went up. I know they didn't.
I'm sure they did actually.
I know they didn't actually. So you're going to tell me you're sure my taxes went up when I'm the one paying the taxes?
Yes.
Gotcha. And your audience thinks that this is rational, logical. I mean, what is your audience thinking right now?
I don't know. I don't know if you're winning this. You're splitting hairs on the wrong things.
Splitting hair. You just told me you know that my taxes went up. You just told me that.
They did. Like if you're in the tax bracket under $360,000, your taxes did go up. Yes.
Okay. I mean, if that's what you want to keep telling yourself, that's great. But I mean,
I know that you're
anyone
taking...
with a brain knows how delusional you sound right now.
Okay, and what you're doing is you're just trusting Trump's word from a microphone.
Trusting Trump? No, I'm trusting the word that's on my tax forms.
Okay,
And when I
I
filled
totally
out my
trust
taxes.
you're recalling this clearly. I'm sure you are.
I'm sure I am. Yeah, and I think if you looked at yours, right? If you did a W-2, if you filled out your tax forms,
I don't have
then
W-2s.
I think you would know the thing. You've been self-employed since 20 what?
Yes,
You've always been self-employed
since 2012. Yeah.
since 2012. Gotcha.
What does tax forms have to do with it?
Well, because I'm telling him clearly that I paid less in taxes.
What, this past year?
No, I'm saying since Trump's tax cuts, I have paid less in taxes.
Most of the people aren't smart enough to know that Trump's taxes also affected the last 4 years. So everybody comes in and says, "Oh
No,
my God, Biden raised my taxes."
When did I say they didn't affect the last
I'm
4
just
years?
saying
When did I
I've
say
had a
that?
million people agree with the fact that they did pay more taxes. They just didn't know it was Trump's fault.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You told me that I paid more in taxes. You told me that.
You probably did. Yes.
You know how insane. Okay. Well, once again, I think anyone with a brain knows how insane you sound.
Okay.
Well, I mean, what do you think? I'm lying that I paid?
Yes, for
less
the sake
tax?
of this conversation, yeah, probably.
Okay. So I voted for someone, right, who I saw lowered my taxes, right? But I actually had my taxes raised, and I'm telling myself that they're lowered.
Do you live in a blue state?
Yes, I do live in a blue state.
Yeah, your
actually.
taxes were definitely more.
Oh, my taxes were more. My federal taxes were more pre-Trump and post-Trump. I gotcha. Okay. Thanks for telling me about my tax situation.
You're welcome.
This is what your audience tunes in to listen to? No, you didn't have that experience. You're wrong.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I just do data. I don't really do anecdotes.
So you do. So what data do you have to tell me that my taxes went
You're
up?
looking at it.
My personal. So this is telling me my tax situation. Let's see. I don't see my name anywhere here. That's
Yeah.
weird.
Okay,
Oh.
you make under
Wait, where's
360,000.
my name on here? Where do you see Dirk Funk on here? I don't
You're
see
gonna
it.
say your full. Okay.
Well, this isn't my full name, just so you know. Look up Longmont Potion Castle. He's the man. Shout out Long.
I feel like we need to have more productive conversation than checking out your things under a microscope. Okay.
No. Well, no. I mean, you're misunderstanding the point. You said this is my tax situation, right? I was looking for my name on the data that you were showing me, Mr. Data over here. I didn't see my name. I thought that was my tax
I
situation.
know you're just being facetious, right? You're not. Your name's not going to be on here.
Yeah, of course not, dude. So what else you got? You're gonna say my taxes went up when I know they didn't. What else? What else do you hate about
Who do you think pays for these tariffs? Do you think foreign countries do? Or do you think we do?
What? Who directly pays for them? Of course we do. The importer.
Nice.
I mean, do you think Trump supporters don't know that? I mean,
yes, I talk to y'all all day. Y'all don't know that.
Well, I mean, that's still a very small portion of Trump supporters calling into you, right?
I can say that I've had almost the exact same experience.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
I would say if I had to make an honest assessment on how many Trump supporters I've talked to that don't understand tariffs, I would say it's probably about 75%. And I'm that's an honest, like,
especially because Trump is the one who literally says it on TV all the time. Like last week he said it. He said they're taxing a foreign country. He's trying to like tell you guys lies so that you don't think you're being taxed more, but his tariffs are a tax on you and you're paying more taxes because of it. Yes.
So why did inflation go down?
That has nothing to do with taxes.
Oh, but I thought I'm paying more for things. Isn't that what inflation is measuring?
I'm talking about taxes.
No. You just said, okay. No, what do you mean you're talking about taxes? You were talking about tariffs, right? And you said, I'm paying the burden of this, right? So why aren't I paying more for things? The tariffs have been in effect for quite a while.
So when
No, they haven't. It's April what? 13th, right? More than a month.
13th. Okay. How long does it take for a cargo ship to get here?
Less than a month.
And how long
do you think it takes to get here?
How much back inventory do you think most retail stores have?
Hold on. How long does that guy think it takes to get here?
2 weeks.
Okay, right. So it's been
all right. Kelly paid to drop you again, though.
Based.
Dude, insane. Kelly, thank you so much for proof. Gosh, I want to find a way to show proof of this. The guys, he wanted to split hairs on the strangest shit.
Yo.
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
No, it's Sam. I changed my username.
Oh, okay. Here you go, guys. Kelly paid you. That says 6 minutes ago. Hold on. 2 minutes ago. I keep showing. Fuck! I accidentally showed your last name. I hope nobody see. Anyway, Kelly,
I was gonna give him an example of how it hasn't hit every industry just yet, but like for example, semiconductor industry, we're now paying more for supplies because of the tariffs, which means that now the products that we are currently selling to the buyers that are buying our semiconductor chips are paying more for those. That price then goes at, like, let's say Ford. Ford is now paying more for microchips. Ford is now going to be raising the price of new vehicles, those new vehicles that have not yet hit the sales floor. But right now, the current vehicles that are on the sales floor aren't affected by those prices. But we're going to start seeing a rise in prices in stuff like cars, cell phones, basic electronics, just like we did during COVID. But this time directly caused by tariffs because the companies are not going to pay that price. They're going to put it on the end consumer.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they're like every quarter, their job. They have a group of people that are hounding the people below them to say, "Hey, how are we maximizing profits? How are we doing this quarter?" Those people aren't going to be like, "Listen, we really care about our customers, and we really don't want people to stop liking Trump, so we're going to eat some of these tariffs." Nobody's doing that.
Oh, dude, we had I kind of gave some of the executives a scare, by the way, in our last quarterly meeting. Do you remember how I was discussing with you the China had the all-out ban on any semiconductor materials thanks to Trump's threat before the tariffs even went into action?
Yeah.
So we had a quarterly meeting and they asked us if we had any questions, and I asked the manager of my building. It was like, "Hey, so are we prepared for this? Do we have enough backlog of supply to where we don't have an immediate supply chain deficit? Are we going to be okay? What are we getting from China?" And he went, and one of the he looked over to his left, and one of the executives stood up and grabbed the mic and was like, "Well, you see, you know, we've got a little bit of backlog, but you know, we're looking into other avenues because we do get a lot from China, but we're looking into other avenues." And I was like, "Oh, crap, that's not a good answer." When the executive looks pressed because he wasn't expecting anyone to ask that.
Yeah.
I have a question about that. So whenever it comes to semiconductor materials, I know that we're
Mhm.
talking about like was it gallium
Mhm.
and manganese,
Yeah, and stuff like argon
copper.
gas. It's different raw minerals and stuff.
So do we have active mines in the U.S. or in our supply chain outside of China? Because I know
We
China
used
has like
to.
a ton of rare earth, and
We
I don't know if we
used
have
to.
alternatives.
So Texas Instruments, Micron, Intel, and I can't remember who else used to have their own plans for stuff like silica sand and making silicone ingots within the United States. But it was causing a bunch of environmental problems, and it was so expensive that we just went with China because they are doing it so dirt cheap. And now the problem is because our supply chain's cut off, everyone's competing to go for all of these companies are competing to go for an outside supplier. But the problem is, one, with all the tariffs, no one knows who to buy from because Trump could just get pissed off and change. Like, you decide, oh, let's go with the cheapest country that supplies this. He gets pissed off. Now
And
it's
then
the most expensive tariff.
yeah.
And then on top of that, all these companies have to do is be cheaper than producing it in the United States now. That's all they have to do. The price could go up astronomically, and as long as it's cheaper than manufacturing it in the United States, they're still going to get the customers.
Yeah.
So we're going. It's not going to be an immediate thing, but like the industry's hurting. Like a lot of the companies, even internal hiring is frozen. Like if we don't do external hiring, at least like okay, I can change sections and I can get hired at a different position within the company. They're not even doing that anymore. Like the industry's hurting bad. Like budgets are getting cut. Dude, it's not going to be fun for consumer electronics and cars.
Yep. I'm buying all my trinkets right now.
Well, you heard what's his name? President Apple said if he wanted to make an iPhone in the U.S., what it would cost him, right?
How much?
Said it would cost him like an extra $1,000.
Yeah, sounds right.
He's like, yeah, because the consumer can totally afford that.
God. Instead of $30, maybe you have 3. Instead of an iPhone, maybe you get a shitty Android. No offense, Android users, but I fucking hate my Android.
I'm gonna go back to a flip phone. Go to Walmart.
Tim Apple. Yeah, that's right.
Ooh,
Anyway, thank you.
Question before I drop:
Uh-huh.
Are you going to DreamHack?
Shh. Shh.
I'll message you on Discord.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
I have people that literally harass me in real life, so I don't like to announce exactly where I'm going on certain dates. Androids are better. Chat, go ahead and mute everybody that says Android's better.
Man, I feel discriminated against.
Get an S25.
I'm the green boy in all the group chats, so people don't.
I have an S25.
Yeah, I got an S22, and yeah.
What up, Ethan? What's up, dude? Android's better. Chat, if you're a Trump supporter, or I'm not even gonna say if you like Android, jump in the box. Jump in the box. Come tell me why your brain's not good. Pickles bullies Android users. Camera's best on S25. You know what? I will give you that. The S25's got a pretty dope camera. I just like the ecosystem.
Yeah, it's kind of been like my main impasse is I've been thinking about the next step as far as this goes, as far as my hardware. So right now I literally just have this mic and my phone, and that's it. So
If
I'm trying, yeah.
If you need help with your setup, tell me. I got you.
Oh, okay. Well,
I've got a
all right,
PhD
yeah,
in
I'm
all
a
that.
bug the hell out of you
Yeah.
on DMs.
Yeah. If you know anybody that needs help like that, I will be, I think as of next week maybe, I'll also be a TikTok agent. So I'll be helping people out
Oh, nice.
extensively. Did I get my new headphones? I did. I love my new headphones. I need help with my setup. I just went to Micro Center and upgraded. I'm dying. Dude, yeah, message me. I got you. I got you. Okay, I don't want to turn the phone on just yet because if I do that, uh, Nemo won't be able to chat with the caller. So we'll see if we can get someone on TikTok to hop up. My algorithm is, yeah, it's a slow night. The last like 3 days, we've had like half of the viewership that I usually get. It's kind of worrying me.
Yeah, it's been weird the last week or so. I don't know what's going on.
Best wireless headphones. I I'm a little biased, but I love SteelSeries. That's what these are, and they're a little pricey. But SteelSeries Artis Nova wireless headset. If you're like a gamer, these have like the highest range and frequency, like all the way down to the lowest of lowest range. Really, really good headset, and they have a swappable battery. So like when these die, I can plop this off, grab the battery, take and swap it out with one that's charging right now inside of the unit that's transmitting. The name of it is Artis Pro or Artis Nova Steel Series Artis Nova wireless. Everyone's scared to debase. Yeah. Wired open backs are the best, and it isn't even close. I had God, what's that brand that Ninja uses? Is it Shure that makes them? I had the same one Ninja used. I didn't like it. It could be Shure. Yeah.
I swapped over to like this dedicated mic because I mean the sound is like night and day because I can actually hear it and it's way better. This is just Sennheiser. This was a surprisingly not expensive mic, and
It's a great brand.
I'm thoroughly surprised. Like it's a handy little thing.
What's up, Erica? Yeah, a mic. They say that it's more important than getting a camera. It's a, like priority because
Really?
subtle like problems with your noise will make people scroll before they will scroll because of your video quality.
That makes sense. Yeah, actually, yeah, that does make sense because a lot of the time they won't even have their camera on half the time. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Nerd Unleashed said it right. That's who it was. Still Series, yeah, they go hard. What's my definition of fascism? You mean fascism? There's 14 tenets of fascism. You can look them up. Who wrote them? Who started it?
Umberto Eco was the first one to put it together in his. I guess it's just like considered an essay, but like his writings on what he called Urfascism, and then Christopher. Is it Christopher Lawrence or Chris Lawrence? I always forget his name. He expanded on it. He's typically the one that I read whenever I go through. I'm sorry, not wow. Lawrence Britt, my bad. That's the one that a lot of people tend to look at. So he's a political scientist. He's the one where it's like powerful continuing nationalism, disdain for recognition of human rights, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one I usually go to. What do you guys think of Gavin Newsom running president in 2028? I think he's okay. I like him. He's a little problematic, but he's okay. I'll take it.
Yeah, I think that he's really tanked his chances with his podcast. He's I don't know. Some of the people he's brought on, namely Charlie Kirk and what's his face? Krusty McCrustface. Steve Bannon. So like those two, bringing them on out the gate, that was just kind of bad. I think that unfortunately it's because he's the governor of California, he was already going to have issues. So, he's going to get tagged with, "Oh, you're from California," which even though it's the the fifth largest economy in the world by itself and the largest state in the union and whatever, even that, it's California, so that means homeless people and dirtiness and poop maps and all that stuff. And so you're going to be tagged with that, even if that is a caricature of California. And so I feel like he wasn't going to be able to shake that off. And also there's something about the way he looks, which I know that's not fair.
He kind of looks slimy.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's like his smile and his hair.
He's very
it's something
like TV worthy, good guy looking. Yeah, and his style, like tennis shoes and like baggy jeans. Sometimes trying to look hip, trying to look younger than he is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's definitely got like that car salesman vibe, and I think that puts a lot of people off. So also I think by marriage he's related to Pelosi, which that can only hurt him in the eyes of moderates, I assume. So I think that, if you had asked me a year or two ago, I would have said he was a lock. He had this thing lined up, ready to go. He was perfect positioning. Like his term ends at the very start of 2028, like in January of 2028. 2028. So it would have been perfect timing. But now I'm thinking that J.B. Pritzker, Josh Shapiro, Andy Bashir.
I like Andy Bashir.
There's someone else. Who am I forgetting?
Buttigieg?
Yeah, Buttigieg. That's the other one. I think I think
out of all
very strong.
Buttigieg is my favorite.
I love Pete Buttigieg. I love when he explains things.
Oh.
He's just got that nice calm.
Very sharp, very concise. Yeah. Just destroys anybody he talks to, shuts it all the way down.
Yeah. And he does it in like a customer service kind of way, but it's like the manager's manager of a customer service person. Like they're chill. They're not trying to talk down to you. They're really nice. They understand things suck. We're gonna get through this. He's got a very calming demeanor.
As Jasmine Crockett said, they need to pick the safest white boy. Woof.
Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, like it's unfortunate because like if I could just wave a magic wand and pick anybody and they would definitely win, I mean, it would be AOC and probably Jasmine Crockett, actually. Yeah.
Love me some sassy Jasmine Crockett.
If Bernie was 10 years younger, I would agree with you, Sarah. But Bernie is like 84,000 years old. And I mean, he's still got it. Like, he's still sharp as a tack. Dude's got more energy than I do at 32. So, yeah, but he's way too old.
Sassy Katie Porter. She's my spirit animal.
I love Katie Porter. I'm so sad that she didn't win that Senate seat. I don't know if she's going back into politics because I mean, she had to give up her House seat. I hope she goes back in because she's so good. She's so good. She does the. I always described her as like that cool math teacher who decided to go into politics
Yeah.
because like she uses visual aids and stuff, and it's like that cool teacher type visual aid. Hey, here's the back of my of my car. Here's all these bags of rice. Every grain of rice is an acre of land, and that's how much land there
Yeah.
is that oil companies have leases for.
Yeah. Jeez.
Oh, she's running for governor of California. Nice. Nice. I don't know if she's got the clout for it. I love her. Like I'm not trying to shade her at all. I'm saying I don't know if she has like the name recognition and the clout for it. Because people were saying that Kamala might do that.
That's what I heard too. That's what I heard too. I want a woman in the presidency. I do too. I'm also very terrified in such an important election cycle to test the waters, but I do too. I don't know. I just don't trust America right now, especially after the last election. I'm so scared.
Yeah. Like it's not fair, it's not right. It is exactly the amount of bullshit that you think that it is. 100%. Fully agree. But there's what things should be and what they are. And unfortunately, America is years and years behind, where we should be as a developed nation.
Yeah.
It is genuinely ridiculous. Yeah, you're right. Pete is risky enough because he's gay. And, that's a question. Josh Shapiro, he's risky in a way, like because he's Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing is true for John Ossoff, because I'm a big Ossoff stan. I think that John Ossoff, he's Georgia senator. I don't think that he could do president, but he's easily VP material. But he's Jewish, and that's one of those things that it's dumb, but guess what? That's gonna factor into some people's things. Same thing with Jon Stewart, because I was big on Jon Stewart running, but he is Jewish.
Damn, I feel like he can get past that though. Jon Stewart.
Yeah, I think he could too. I think he's got the ability to go over that, because man,
damn, Jon
I
Stewart.
feel like him, or he occupies that space where it's like him and Michelle Obama, if they were to ever run, it would just be an auto win. Just, yep, no, like we can just skip everything. Skip the election, skip the all of it. Yeah, no, they win.
Is Jon Stewart actually considering it? God, I wish. I don't know. I feel like as much as I have a problem with the right hiring people off of fucking TV to run the country. I think Jon Stewart actually has the know-how. Like he has the knowledge to do an effective job. Walls, love Walls, but the tampon Tim thing, god damn,
Yeah.
as dumb and as incorrect as it is, it's so fucking dumb.
It's one of those things where it's like, apparently there's a law for this, like an internet law, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's like the amount of energy that it takes for you to disprove a lie is like an order of magnitude more than the lie itself. I can't remember the name of that law, but that's true. It's like someone could just say tampon Tim. Okay, that's BS. But the amount of energy you're going to have to expend to just disprove that,
Yeah,
it takes so much time.
it's impossible. And also Cory Booker. Yeah, love Cory Booker. Pickles Nemo 2028.
Oh God.
No, I have my criminal record. I would have to be on a Republican ticket.
Right? Yeah, I have a feeling that there's probably skeletons in my closet that would just. Yeah, no, probably bad idea. Al's, thank you for the Venmo. You said I want Chris Murphy from Connecticut. I don't. Who is that? I feel bad that I don't recognize that name. I bet you I know his. Oh yes, I know him. I think that the thing with Chris Murphy and also Wes Moore, they both have the same issue, which is name recognition. Most people don't know who Wes Moore is, but if Wes Moore could get his name like way out there, he would be a solid contender. He's the governor of Maryland. And I mean, yeah, he's awesome. But most people don't know who Wes Moore is. Most people, like, I mean, with Chris Murphy, like, I recognize the name, but I had to Google him. So, yeah. Maxwell Frost is too young, I think.
Yeah, way too young. I love him though.
I think that he's literally under the age requirement. You have to
He's
be
like
35.
26. 25, 26 right now.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, you have to be 35 to run for president.
Chat, this is so we're coming up on your last chance. If you guys want to debate, hop in the box. Come tell me why you like Trump. Oh, Gemini's in the box. Let's see what she says. Hello.
I just came on to say that this alleged record of yours is a total witch hunt. And also you're barely 35, so.
It's true. But yeah, it was all before I was 20 too, so maybe it might be clear. I'm sure I'm sure somebody will find it.
Oh, it's also now just a matter of you've been public about that. So I'm going to say that this is not a problem. So if this is what was precluding you, you've got a bright future ahead of you.
Let's do it. I'm going to run from the basement like Biden. Like they said Biden did, I'm going to run from my basement, chat. Literally
W's in the chat. Pickles, Nemo, 2028.
There are no rules anymore. It's true. After we elected a felon, I guess there really isn't any rules.
We just do presidency by Zoom. Yeah.
Well,
I feel like there's a slogan in there somewhere using Zoom. I have to think about it for a minute.
You can drop me off, by the way, if you want to.
Okay,
You're going to get any ops.
Okay.
Zoom over Doom 2032.
I'm on live more than Trump's doing his job. It's so true. It's so true.
For your digital future. It sounds like an ISP slogan. Spectrum Internet for your digital future.
What's my favorite topic to debate? Probably the economy or the border. conservatives' record on the economy, indefensible. You have to be extremely dumb to think it's a winning talking point.
Yeah, my favorites. I suck. I'm pretty weak on the border, just for like stats and stuff. Like that's always been kind of an issue with me. Um, anything history related, I tend to be pretty solid, because I fall asleep to history documentaries. So
Yeah, not me.
especially anything World War II, Cold War, like I got that on lock. But I'd say like Russia, Ukraine, and maybe economic stuff.
Someone's whose username on YouTube is Jesus Christ says LMAO Trump sucks, and then they said libero swallow. Jesus Christ 2025.
Isn't that a good thing though? Like, I feel like that's a compliment, if anything.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. If you're shaming people for swallowing, you really are the problem.
Right? Like, be the change that you want to see in the world.
Am I gaming tonight? I'm going over to my girlfriend's house after this, maybe in about 30 minutes. And I'm probably just going to do some editing while I'm there. The number of MS-10 in cartel is interesting. I would love to hear that, Trish. What up, Sherry? Yeah. I'm absolutely obsessed with my my MacBook. My girlfriend gave me an old MacBook. And it's like having a I don't know, what's a good year of like a Toyota Corolla? It's like one of those golden years that they were made. And I popped it open, cleaned it, upgraded a little bit. I love it. 1981.
They are genuinely just. I mean, you can have criticisms of Apple, but their build quality is rock solid. There's a reason they hold their value, and it's not just the brand.
Their OS is also so lightweight. And
Oh yeah.
they so it needs far less muscle to do what a Windows computer does. I love Miss Pickles and I don't even know her. She's sitting right behind me. She says thanks.
Yeah, I got to play with the latest. I guess it was an M4. I think it was a 16-inch MacBook Pro. That thing, I mean, it was a spaceship. It was crazy. The only thing that I wasn't too crazy about was I can't get over the notch. And I know that that's one of those things that you stop seeing it very quickly. But that notch was it was I was just staring at it the whole time.
Now it's an island. Now it's just that weird island.
Well, no, I'm talking about the MacBook.
Oh, it's a notch on the MacBook?
Yeah, the MacBook Pro. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Are they?
You might have the one that it was the year before they did it. So, yeah, they expanded the screen a bit, and it's got like a little notch thingy.
Is it where the camera comes out?
At the top. Yeah.
Hmm. I'll
show you a picture. Hold up.
I demand to be heard. What's up, Eek? Trisha, thank you so much. Pickles treat, please. She's not here, but I will give her a treat. I promise, Trisha. I promise. I'll give her as soon as we get there. We're going to her house tonight. I promise. Thank you so much, Trish. I know. I'm sorry. I can give Lainey a treat though. We just got them all new treats. She'll get a really good one. We promise. Give Lainey whatever she wants. All right.
So that's the notch. That's what it looks like. So I mean, it's pretty visible. And I know, like, it's one of those things that it'll go away. Like, visually, you will stop seeing it.
I just
But
she's got one of those right now. I just now saw it. Yeah, you're
yeah,
right. Damn. The
it
notch
does
on
look a
the
little
screen.
janky. I'm hoping that Apple does the island thingy.
It's after the generation you gave me. Yeah. That's kind of cool. She says that it actually like if you have tabs on your browser, it knows that's there and it moves the tabs over. Not
Wow, that's cool.
even the navigation too in like software.
Oh wow, that's fancy.
Yeah.
I know that Apple, they offer different things with it where so the screen, they didn't make it cut into the screen, so to speak. Like, imagine a normal laptop screen. Instead of the notch cutting into that rectangle, they made the rectangle a little bit taller, and then they put the notch there. So
Yeah.
like, you are getting more screen, right? But you still get the amount that you were getting before. If you want, they have it where you can do a black bar and it'll just kind of hide it. But yeah, it was fast as hell though. It was crazy, and it was dead silent. Like mine, I have a Windows laptop, and this thing, when I open up Firefox, it's like, okay, we're doing CAD drawings now, like just screaming loud, uh loud fans from the graphics card just ramping up and stuff.
By the way, I'm gonna do capitalism real quick, guys. If you want to help me get my very own notch on a screen, I have a wish list right here where you can contribute for me to buy. It's 3% funded right now, guys. And eventually, if it hits 100, I get this laptop. It's an insanely like specced out laptop, but when I actually want to invest in a laptop, I tend to just go overboard just so that it lasts more than 4 years or something, 2 years. But yeah, if you guys want to help me out with that, that's one way to support me. And also, I'm sure Nemo has his stuff in his bio. If you guys want to contribute, give donations for that.
Yeah.
But it's an Apple. I was also looking at, there's a modular laptop now that you can buy upgrade parts for it as the years go by. Arjun sent it to me the other day. It looks dope. And
Yeah, that is oh crap, what's that called?
I priced it out. It was like $1,700 for a pretty good one. And you can swap
Yeah.
the graphics card, you can swap the PC or the CPU, all that stuff.
Yeah, Linus from
Linus
crap,
Tech Tips.
Yes. So Linus Tech Tips, he was a big backer of that company because it's a really cool idea. What's it called? I'm assuming it's the same company. Framework. That's it. That's the name of it.
I can't get to your Discord when I copy. It says it's expired. Do I have any mods on? That could message Niklay? Message me. Okay, Miss Chinandler. Message Miss Chinandler Bing Bong, Niklay. Eek says mod me. We have such a careful mod process now. I will let y'all know as soon as I'm looking for more mods. but we need mods on YouTube, guys. If you guys want to mod on YouTube, talk to my bot that's there in the YouTube chat, and there's a way to apply to become a mod. We are looking for people who are on laptop or PC because it's the best way to mod on there. YouTube's scary, yeah. If you guys want to be in the real trenches where MAGA lives, that's YouTube. They're there, guys.
Yeah, I'm assuming that the rules there are more lax than here.
They are and they aren't. I mean, I've been banned for 90 days on YouTube for some of the stuff some of the stuff my guests have said.
Oh my god, okay.
Demonetized everything. It was crazy.
Wow. I know that YouTube was like really hardcore about copyright stuff, so like anytime, even the briefest amount of music that's copywritten, like yeah, no, full demonetization. And TikTok is pretty chill about that. But wow, yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, medical misinformation is what they got me for. This is a really good screen grab. Steve, Facts Still Matter sent to me. This is absolutely horrifying, to be honest. Let me airdrop it. This is why airdrops the shit. This is why the Apple ecosystem is the shit. Boom. All right. This is the distribution of Trump's tax cuts. And the poorest 20% are getting 1% of those tax cuts. The second 20% get 4%. Middle 20 get 10. Fourth 20 get 17. The richest 20% get 68% of the total tax cuts put in those bills. Trump and his rich friends that put money and donated to his election, they get that. And then they'll turn around and tell you that it's the best thing for our economy. And you'll turn around and tell me the same thing.
They'll point out that their taxes go down, which, I mean, yeah, you might pay a little bit less in taxes this next go round, but how much is a little bit less? Like,
and this is also not considering these tariffs, right? So
yeah,
Trump called it politically hostile or politically aggressive when companies like Amazon were even thinking about separating out the price of tariffs into like itemizing them into the cost of your purchases because they don't want you to see the hidden taxes they're throwing on you. You're not going to see it. It's not going to be a line item on your income anymore. It's just going to be in the shit that you buy. And I guess out of sight, out of mind, right, MAGA?
yeah. Well, I mean, he was like straight up threatening Walmart. What was it, 2 days ago? He was threatening them on Truth Social. Just, don't you dare raise your prices, Walmart. Don't don't do it. I'm the president of the United States threatening a private company
Yeah.
about their prices.
Yeah. Why the fuck would tariffs ever work if items don't go up in price? How would tariffs ever work? Either they work or they don't. They make things go up in price so that we buy domestically or they don't. That's the function of a tariff. Why are you so mad that tariffs are doing tariff stuff?
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing where you've got people who are in denial who say, oh no, the companies will just eat the cost and they won't pass it along. Makes no sense, right? But then you've got people who are in the cope thing where it's like, okay, I know that it's going to raise prices, but I would rather pay more for American uh, products versus overseas products. And I mean, okay, that's you, right? But broadly, no, you won't. Like, we
Yeah.
already know this because of how things are.
Yeah.
The market decided, and the market said, we want things as cheap as possible, which means we're going to outsource. There were options like made in America options, and those options don't sell as well. This is capitalism 101. Like, if it were true that the made in America ones were just so much better and every American was super patriotic and wanted it, then the overseas products would fail, and they don't.
Someone goes, little boy needs to take another course on tariffs, and then he misspells the word tariffs. And they go, I'll believe Trump before Subway in his mom's basement. Dude, the stereotype that Democrats like live with their parents or whatever is it's so insane to me how backwards it is, because red states are vehemently more of a welfare sink than blue states. So it's usually rural areas that have no market, no place to work. That's where the most of our welfare goes to. So it's pretty much the people you think are the leeches in society are the ones actually paying for y'all to be leeches in society. Unironically.
I mean, farming is one of the most heavily subsidized industries.
Yep. Conservatives goes, are you kidding me? I can tell, if you don't think that's true, I can just tell you've never looked this up before. It's literally the fact. It's the data.
Hey guys, what are you doing?
What's up, man?
What's up, bub?
So, I got a conspiracy for you. You want to hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump is now saying Joe Biden is innocent for the things that he did during his presidency because he had such heavy cognitive decline. Have you seen that? He came out with the truth.
Is he dismissing the idea of investigating anything?
So this is what he's saying. Joe Biden was not for open borders. He never talked about open borders where criminals of all kinds, shapes, and sizes can flow into our country at will. It wasn't his idea to open the borders and almost destroy our country and cost us hundreds of billions of dollars to get criminals out of our country and go through the process where we're going through now. It was the people that knew he was cognitively impaired and that took over the auto pen. So what I'm saying, do you have a tinfoil hat on, you fucker?
Yeah, I'm just messing with you.
So what I'm saying is, I honestly think he's setting this up to prosecute other people within the administration. Like, they're going to start pointing fingers at Obama. They're going to start pointing fingers at Hillary Clinton.
Yeah,
that's what
or
I
whoever's
foreshadow.
Yeah, or just the rest of our party, so that like they can use this to campaign against us the next go round. Somehow it's going to be whoever our next candidate is. It's going to be their fault. They can put this on them.
And well, I honestly think they're going to try to start locking people up with this. They're going to be like, you were part of this, you knew, and you know, he's already doing it with the Congress people who were protesting ICE. We're already seeing this happen. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just stoned. I don't know, thinking too much. But that's what I was thinking when I saw that tweet. I said, he's setting this up. He's setting this up for other people to take the downfall, so he can point. He doesn't have to point at the old sick guy now, who's dying, and be like, I'm gonna lock him. He's just shifting. That's all he's doing. He's shifting the finger, pointing at other people. That's my
that sounds
conspiracy.
about right. I mean, like, did you hear his galaxy brain rationale for the economy? I don't know. This was probably about a month or two ago now, where he said all the bad things are Biden and all the good things are me. And that's not me exaggerating at all. He literally just said that. Hold on. Let me find the clip, because it really is that ridiculous.
Stage 9 cancer, chat. Stage 9.
That's actually like, yeah, he's a rich old white guy, but he did what was needed for the country at the time. I still don't agree with a lot of the shit that he did. I sure as shit don't agree with him upholding capitalism the way he did. But you know, I mean, it sucks hearing somebody has cancer, and that's not good. It's already spread to his bones. This isn't going to end well, and it's probably going to end soon.
Okay, I found it. It really is just it's like a 6-year-old's way of arguing. It's crazy.
Watch him still outlive Trump.
We had the bad parts of the Biden. Want to make a deal? They want to make a deal very badly. We'll see how that all turns out, but it's got to be a fair deal.
When does it become the Trump economy?
It partially is right now, and I really mean this. I think the good parts are the Trump economy, and
Just
the
the
bad
good
parts are the Biden economy. Because
Legit, like he said,
That's wild.
NBC News, like an interview, NBC, he said this: good parts of the Trump economy, bad parts of the Biden economy, just straight up.
I wonder how many manufacturing, like how many jobs that are being brought back here are fucking, oh gosh, is this the underage kid? Hello?
Underaged?
Are you over 18?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What do you like about Trump?
He's just a good old fashioned Nah, I'm joking. First of all, I'm a Calvinist, let me state that. So I believe that all humans are made in the image of God. So I agree with this pro-life policy.
Can I take a vote? Like I don't think guys should come up here and speak on women's bodies. I don't think that's your place, man.
I
think you
actually
should
got
speak
paid
on other topics.
I got paid $100 to drop all pro-life.
Okay, can I give you another point?
Horse
There you go.
birthers.
Fair enough.
Can I give you another point?
Yeah.
I under Trump's term, the border, there were better numbers amongst like regarding illegal immigration than during Biden's term.
I think the border is a very nuanced thing, and the influx of people that came to the border were not Biden's fault. Maybe partly Trump's fault, but not necessarily Biden's fault. I think it was environmental. I think it was because of COVID. But Biden did not open up the borders. No laws changed around the border besides a few executive orders that Trump wrote that
No
were
law
very
has
horrible.
changed, but border security policy didn't change at all. Yes, it did. Under Trump's term compared to Biden's, yes, there were more resources allocated towards border security.
So you have to substantiate. I think that Trump started. I think it was Operation Lone Star or something, but that didn't stop.
What? So you're attributing the difference in numbers to COVID and environmental factors? You cannot.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see it on a satellite. The people migrating because of COVID.
Okay.
I was just wondering though, is Jesus against immigrants? I didn't see who gave me coins, but thank you very much. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you so much.
Oh wow.
Bad is up. Hey Logan, where'd you go? Jesus would hate MAGA. You're right.
Jesus pattern baldness in the chat says, "No, I'm not."
Nah, you guys are so nice. Thank you
Those
very
are dope.
much.
Those are dope.
Thanks, Kristen. Damn, I was just gonna come up here and do news while nobody is here. I expect to get coin.
People saying you misrepresenting the facts. Literally, the only person that misrepresented the facts was Trump and the Trump campaign for 4 years. Every single person, every single MAGA that has come up here is largely misinformed on the amount of people that came over, who were let over, etc. Some people come up here and they're like, 20 million people came over, or 15 million people. Biden let 15 million people in, and it's like, okay, well, he also kicked out more than Trump. Like, so I could, using the same logic, I can be like, why did Trump only kick out 250,000 people? Biden kicked out millions. Like, Trump is a pussy. Like, I could do the same thing. It works both ways, dude.
So, did you guys hear about the Golden Dome?
Yeah, not a lot. No, I watched part of the live.
That he's earmarked the initial 25 billion to develop the Golden Dome missile defense system for America.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Seriously?
It's a system aims at using next generation technologies across the land, sea, and space to intercept missiles from anywhere in the world. However, the Congressional Budget Office estimates the space-based parts of the system alone could cost up to $542 billion over 20 years. And it's going to include Canada? They're protecting Canada too?
Okay.
Dude,
That's kind of suspicious.
It's literally like, it's just a rehash of what Reagan did. It's the Star Wars project.
It's
That's
just build
like,
a wall, but
for anybody that doesn't know, so 1980 Satan did a lot of things. One of the things was, you have to remember this is during the Cold War. So he's like, okay, so we're going to do a missile defense system in space with freaking lasers and stuff. So the whole idea was the Soviets have ICBMs. We want to defend against those. We're going to make this thing. And I can't remember what the actual name was called, but it got a nickname called Star Wars. That's what they called it. And it was some ridiculously expensive thing that never materialized. And it's literally what Donald Trump is doing with this. Like, Jesus.
yeah, man, he announced today that Washington, that Canada has requested to join the Golden Dome missile defense program. Trump, this is after, I guess, there's been a lot of criticism for their defense spending, so they're like jumping in under our bubble.
Someone says that Reagan was one of the greatest presidents of all time. He fixed the economy and solved the gas prices.
Reagan ruined everything.
Reagan is the problem. He's the root of all of our problems.
The root of all evil.
If you could actually think past your blind loyalties to the Republican Party and just like Google, hey, why is school so expensive? Why is the wealth gap so bad? Why are we in debt as a nation? Literally, most of your problems, if you just like Googled why like 5 times in a row, like you eventually end up at Reagan. Yeah.
Reagan does remind me a lot of Trump for the simple fact, like Reagan was able to be controlled by, hey Artemis, what's up?
Hey.
Reagan was able to controlled by corporations like a puppet. We literally saw the CEO of Enron whisper in his ear, hurry it up, while he was on stage. It was fucking amazing that he did that. And it's just like, God bless it, how like they're just telling us in front of the whole world that Reagan is a puppet. But they took advantage of him because I honestly think he had Alzheimer's, especially during the later stages of it, at least early onsets of it.
Someone said Reaganomics worked. Yeah, it sure did.
The fact that Donald Trump is allowing the corporations to do the exact same thing, I don't think it's because of cognitive decline and Alzheimer's and all that. I think he's just okay with it. Like they were able to get away with it first time because the Alzheimer's were taking advantage. This time he's just okay with it.
Artemis, did you want to tell us about the Golden Dome?
Yeah, no, so like I remember when the first executive order came out about this, about it being an Iron Dome. I'm assuming he's added on to it. I'm not as watching the news as much as I used to, but there's actually a guy on here that I'll recommend that y'all talk to. His name is George.physics. And he's actually worked in ballistics a little bit.
Oh, Jorge, yeah.
Yeah. So he's able to give me a lot more information on the fact that it's basically a satellite dome. So it's going to be using satellites to be able to pinpoint these missiles that are able to go undetected towards us. Which, I mean, apparently China and Russia have access to these, according to him at least. So there is reason for that. But that it's already, we kind of have the system set up, but it's going to be like a 10-year plan is what I was looking at when I was going through all the schematics of it. It seems like that he is upping it to now a golden dome, because he just talked about an iron dome before. But it's a layered defense shield, and I went over that.
It's modeled after Israel, but the funny thing is, Israel uses our system. I mean, it's the Patriot missile system.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be on a larger scale. I guess this one isn't, obviously, for Israel.
I'm gonna guess.
Yeah,
Musk,
but I didn't know about.
Musk
I didn't
is
know
gonna
about the
be.
gold dome.
I bet Musk is gonna have his hands in it. He's gonna get all the government contracts.
Oh
for it.
God.
Trump's probably thinking
man,
a golden
just made it
dome will make
1,000
such
times
pretty
worse.
sunsets.
Sorry.
I didn't even think about that, but you're right. Yeah, Starlink is going to be like the backbone of that whole thing.
Yeah, if you look up this specific thing, the hypersonic and ballistic tracking space sensor layer, you can look up plans that are part of the Department of Homeland Security, I believe. That's what he's talking about.
I mean,
Yeah, see,
I just. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
I just think that it's silly, like the whole rationale. Like, number one, the only country that could actually pull that off, like an actual missile strike against the U.S., would be China. Because
Yeah.
Russia, I genuinely don't think Russia could pull it off. China, they could.
So this is
But
the
they won't.
schematic.
Mexico.
So like here was satellite that would intercept down here in the terminal phase. And so it goes through all of this. Yeah, there you go. So that's basically what they're talking about doing.
That makes perfect sense now.
So, Artemis, do you know anything about the Reagan Star Wars thing?
I had briefly heard about it a long time ago, but I don't know as much. But I do know what you're talking about. I mean, this is also like why Trump was so fixated on like Space Force, is because he's hoping for this to be like a part of Space Force.
Yeah,
So-
I could have. I'm gonna look up the thing for Reagan because I'm pretty sure it's almost like that exact diagram almost. But like the whole thing, I just don't understand it. Like, we don't need missile interception when it comes to that, because do we have a credible threat anytime soon? Like, yeah, something might pop off with China. They're not about to fire off nukes. I mean, our missile defense system is called the Air Force, and then if that fails for whatever reason, it's called the U.S. Navy. Like, what's the largest air force in the world? The U.S. Air Force. What's the second largest air force in the world?
Navy.
The U.S. Navy. Like, really? Come on. And I think number 3 might be China, and then like number 4 is the Army. Like, it's crazy how many aircraft we have in our military. But yeah, it's just I don't know.
Yeah, but he put out that executive order. I remember when it was like on January 27th. It was like 1 week after he had been the Iron Dome for America. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
Iron Dome for America.
We spend $1 trillion every year on military, and you guys are like, let's cut spending. By the way, we're fucking doing this insane spending again in the military. Like you're like, let's cut education, let's cut all this other stuff, but military, gotta get those numbers up. The fuck, dude.
Okay,
When my son was in basic training for the Air Force, he said they had the same training location as Space Force. And he said those guys were different, man. He said they were a different breed. They were super intelligent, like the super smart kids in the class in high school that always skipped grades. He's like, that's the Space Force. That's those guys. I was like, yeah, okay.
And China can just economically crush us, no boom-booms. Yeah. So, yeah, and Russia doesn't need to fight us militarily either. They just brainwash people like MAGA and crush us from the inside.
Oh, I'm getting so frustrated with that guy you were debating forever, that TikTok username person. I was like losing it.
Yeah.
So this is a graphic of like from the 80s. This is Reagan's graphic. So the official name is I think Strategic Defense Initiative is what it was, SDI. And I mean, it's like the same thing, you know? But yeah, I just thought that was funny. Like, I mean, genuinely, like if you compare this graphic to what Artemis just showed, I mean,
Yeah, it's very
obviously,
similar.
yeah, it is genuinely like the same thing.
Wow. That is too funny. That is too funny, dude.
I'm gonna build a golden dome. It's just his new wall.
It's just this new wall. It's gonna be a better wall.
The Israelis get the Iron Dome, but we have to get something better than iron. We're gonna get the gold, okay?
If we have a golden
Israel gets
dome-
the iron, we get the gold.
Think about the sunsets through a golden dome across the whole country.
Oh my
It'd be
god.
beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, I'm sure Mexico will pay for it.
What do you eat for dinner, bro?
What I eat?
Mm-hmm.
I had fried calamari and a boon bowl, which is like
what?
Vermicelli, rice vermicelli with mixed vegetables and beef, like lemongrass beef. So good.
Sounds good.
Sounds fancy.
Yeah, I had a Cuban sandwich and I put the onion rings on the sandwich. It kicks it up a notch, man. Like Cuban sandwiches are delicious, anyways.
Wait, are Cuban sandwiches the one made with like grape jelly?
No, that's a Reuben.
That's a Reuben. Okay. That was always such a weird experience for me when I was like 16, working at a sandwich shop, and I was like, why am I putting grape jelly on this?
No, that's gross. I hate those. Cubans, pulled pork, ham, cheese, pickles, mustard, onions. Fucking delicious.
Oh, it's the Monte Cristo. Okay, that's what it is. I was like, it didn't sound like the Reuben was
Oh,
correct.
it's a Monte Cristo? I don't know. I don't know what the differences are, really.
Guys, I got to get off here soon.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, I'll let some people up though. Quick.
I came in right as Artemis said Monte Cristo, and I'm just like, absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, they're gross, aren't they?
It is literally just a glorified ham and cheese sandwich, deep fried and coated in powdered sugar. Gross.
It's like dessert and dinner, and I don't like it.
No. Just no.
Anyway, I'm gonna
It
bounce
is an
out, man. I just
abomination.
wanted to give you guys some news and kill some time, but you guys have a good night. Y'all be safe.
Bye.
You
take care.
too. By the way, chat, if y'all want to see my shirt, this is my my Jaws parody Pokemon shirt.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
Someone was asking
I
me what
love the
Fark is.
tiny Goldeen.
Up your sleep medication.
Hello, Dee Dee? Dee Dee?
I don't know. I don't
She's
think.
probably here on accident.
Yeah, I was like,
Something. She
Yeah.
said something about sleep medication.
She might be on that Lunesta stuff.
Hi, Nemo.
Howdy.
did you get beamed on your main, Nemo?
Oh no, I normally use this, but this is my main backup, if that makes sense. Like
Mhm.
anytime that I go live, I typically use this one because
Okay.
I'm super sketched out about using my main because I got like 2 strikes on it. The strikes have probably fallen off at this point, but yeah,
They
I've
reset
just
every
been
90
sketched.
days. They reset every 90 days.
Yeah, I think it's been long enough that they've all fallen off, but yeah, I'm
I
super
did-
worried about it.
I did hear a rumor. I don't know if it's true. That TikTok is me cracking down on people using green screens.
Nice.
Yeah, and that they're probably going to take it away in the next week. I haven't checked the ruling on this, but this is something that I'm hearing about, and that they're going to start, like, basically you might be higher likelihood of being beamed if you have a green screen on.
Oh,
Which you
crap.
have a sticker, Pickle, so I think you're safe. But
My algorithm's now gaming because I watch Pickles. I'm sorry. All right. All right, guys. Could it be that way? But I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go. My girlfriend has got to get to. We're gonna go rock climbing tomorrow morning, so we gotta get some sleep.
That's fine.
Ooh, rock
Have a good
climbing. Have
time.
fun.
Bye. Have a good night.
I would fall
Later,
flat on
man.
my ass
Thanks for having
due
me
to
on.
my cerebral palsy.
Thanks for hanging out, Nemo. Yeah, everyone, love y'all. We are gonna get out of here, guys. Follow the stream if you enjoy these debates. Hopefully by next week we'll be back in TikTok's good graces. I don't know what's going on with my numbers, what's going on with viewership. Can't get debates.
Love you too, best friend.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. I'll be doing another full stream day tomorrow after I climb. So yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Good night, chat. When's your next live? I'll be up tomorrow, probably around 1 or 2. I'm probably gonna take a nap after the gym. So I'll see y'all then. Peace out. I'm off. Oh, Sudafed red.